Let the chaos reign. Chaos Reign presents Sex is on the Table. Broadcast October the 24th, 2021. Enjoy.
The views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at TalkRealSolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of TalkRealSolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not TalkRealSolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
In a world where there's crime, corruption, violence, murder, rape, theft, and all forms of atrocities that plague the world in which we live in today, what you're witnessing, we are living in a state of chaos, and it'll take a more greater or extreme chaos to restore the order in which the world we live in today. Good evening, people, and also black people. Today, as is labeled and titled for today's stream, is something that there's revelation that has been upon us now for some time when it comes to relationships, particularly for the black woman. But before I give you the title for today's stream, go to talkrealsolutions.com. There you see the 3-point plan for black empowerment, black achievement. And under the 3-point plan, you will see lists of black established banks located near you across certain parts of the United States of America. And also, the latest articles and news is also on the website as well, including a donation tab. So to find all that information, what I just laid on you, go to talkrealsolutions.com, where you can visit the site today. Also, follow Talk Real Solutions on Facebook as well. Same name, Talk Real Solutions with the line. Join the group. You'll be added to a special private chat where everything goes down DM. So like the page on Facebook as well. And also know this is also airing on the YouTube side of things, T.R.S. side of things on YouTube. And one last thing. Also subscribe to the Chaos Reign channel as well. As you know, when you subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit the red button and the top notification bell for all your latest uploads or live streams on the Chaos Reign channel. And another thing I forgot, you can also follow me on Twitter at Chaos Reign 7, and you can now follow me on Facebook or add me as a friend on Facebook, titled Eric Ray on Facebook. So let me check on my check on my things, see how my audio sounds. Yeah, I sound good on the other side, so that's good. All right, guys. So what is on the table today? I'm glad you asked. Tonight's subject is titled Chaos Reign presents Sex is on the Table. And now, why I always say and made and create a title such like this, what you're witnessing now, is because it is evident when it comes to relationships, and it could be any forms of relationships, whether small, big, or short, long-term relationships or short-term relationships, it is evident, and I mean evident in a good way, that the women here in the western region of America, and we could apply it to mostly every other cultural woman, but we're going to say for black women today, because, we'll touch on this because a particular woman herself has been on the prowl teaching and helping women, especially women of color, black women, for over a decade now. And she, like many dating and femininity or dating coach, has decided to hang it up after a whole decade of, I guess, helping very or a few or a lot of black women in ways for them to acquire and obtain a mate. Not a man, but a mate. For a mate to go as far as get on one knee, give him a ring of significance, and walk him across that stage and onto the sunset. So, one thing I'll do, I'll run some audio clips from her words from mouth, and I'll probably read her dissertation on why she came to the realization why she decided to hang it up. But if y'all wouldn't really remember, and this I heard from the same space with a lot of black male consecrators, and we could say other consecrators, but we're going to say for black male consecrators, have been following a lot of dating coach for some time now. And one particular dating coach that is a preacher's wife has said it best about dating and mating and being a matchmaker for some time now, and she had to hang up as well too for the last 3 or 4 or 5 years maybe. Now I'll say probably 3 years at best, or 4. And she has came to a realization that black women are very much a problem when it comes to mate selecting or into the point of finding a decent mate and a mate that really will align with them. Her name was Olivia Pope. The popes are very much usual people. They do, I guess, preach the word of God. And on T.R.S, they more go in the direction of atheism. And let's be honest, it's good if you worship some spook daddy on the sky and hope that he's going to come and save you. But I say otherwise, you better save yourself for the sake of conversation. But nonetheless, Olivia Pope was doing matchmaking for some time and hang up because she too came to the revelations that these fucking women, black women especially, cannot be saved. Much as she can't do nothing for them because they have unrealistic goals or unrealistic standards that don't meet to any human eye. And there's reason for that, but we're not going to go in that right now. We're just going to stick to the subject at hand of why they're so unrealistic, but really go for why majority dating coaches, including my good friend Miss Letitia Underwood, as you know, she said it best that she does not matchmake for black women. And why I say she does not matchmake for black women, because of the same issues that Olivia Pope ran into. And really, truly, black women are very hard-headed. And it's better you hear that from a woman than a man, because a man will tell you and keep it real with you, ladies. And they're always going to keep it real with you, no matter how you want to use shaming language, calm that they're gay, they're mean, who hurt you. They're going to keep it real. A woman, they'll play around with you and won't tell you what you don't want to hear on the average. Hell, even Miss Nicole Michelle, when she started her own beauty inner beauty movement, trying to help teach them how to get what we call the bag for those women that's under the age of 30, how to snag a man of any value. She too had to step away from the scene of her organization or her business because she found out she ran into the same problem. Now, mind you, she still does teach wife school, how to better yourself as a woman, how to carry yourself as a woman. She still takes, she actually, my fault. She still teaches it, but her platform and how she works around her schedule and how she organizes her organization now is shifting now for all women. So even the best of this wonderful woman. And I would like to give another shout out, which I said earlier, that Miss Nicole Michelle has now gotten married by the one other consecrator or another man that's in the field of not only law form, but other expertise and skills, the one and only Tony Maceo. The two of them had just got married maybe a few days ago, I believe. And I say all peace upon them and more blessings to them to come, and for a more prosperous marriage and life. Trust me, they're a wonderful couple, beautiful people, and they're going to do great and wonderful things. So I give a nice little shout out to them. You know, I see a bright and beautiful future for both of them, and even lasting marriage. But like I said, everything is going to be good once you decide what you want as a woman. And she could teach you that, ladies. Just like most women, if you want to learn how to carry yourself like a woman, you're going to have to go spend the money to go learn some coaching. And not just to fool a man, but just for your betterment, because there's some things your goddamn mother didn't teach you, and she didn't teach you shit up to this point, unfortunately. And if your father was there, he would at least keep it honest with you. But you know how we are as people. We like to be individualists. We like to say, you know, get yours, screw everybody else. Only a few people could accomplish that, but really true, if you're a woman, you only have such little time on this earth, so make it count. So, like I said, these are the few women. One I have interviewed a couple times on this platform and on my channel about matchmaking. She doesn't do matchmaking for women, especially black women, because she too saw the issues just like Olivia Pope back 3 or more years ago, and now April Mason has hanging up after doing it for such a long time. And I'm going to play some of the clips on that, so stay tuned, be patient. But let us look at the Facebook post and why, and I mean why, she decided to hang it up. And then we're going to go and hear from her from word of mouth personally. Oh, and for those that's listening, please share this podcast and like this stream. Here we go. After 10 years of helping women in this area, it's time to move on. I've had dozens of successful stories from women who are now married, engaged, or dating high-caliber men. My track record speaks for itself. However, the majority that comes to me have unrealistic expectations. The selfishness, take everything, think they should be chosen because they have a yoni, which means they have a pussy, and good looking and good looks. The entitlement just means not knowing the difference between being a woman and a wise woman, and will fight you to be strong, not knowing how to be versus do. Thinking being a feminine woman is weak or a pick-me. Now, we always hear about the word pick-me, and I've noticed a lot of these sick females, some of them on content creators that does podcasts, YouTube, always shaming women, especially black women, that if you like or cater to man, just like these dumb dudes, you hear the term people, if a man tries to cater to his wife or do something for his wife, sometimes he is considered a simp. The reverse word for most women is you're a pick-me. And the reason why you hear people use these words, because words do mean power and they do hurt, depending how sharp your tongue is. And a lot of people, average human psychologists, don't want to feel pain or stings of a sharp tongue. So they'll do things opposite, prevent further pain. I'm telling you personally, people, embrace the pain, love it, cherish it, endure it. It is part of reality. They're going to keep coming with you regardless. So you better wisen up and say, let it all rain on me. Like the song Ashanti. Let's continue. Where am I? Okay. And thinking being a feminine woman, okay, a pygmy, I'd say that. Whatever that is, place the blame and not taking responsibility or accountability for the choices they made in men. Uh-oh. Accountability? Wasn't the same thing a lot of men have been talking about for the last couple of years? That a lot of women, sisters, black women, do not like to take accountability? Is that the case? But you hear from another black woman say, you're not taking accountability, don't want to take responsibility, accountability. So, it seemed to me, I could understand and see that a lot of women that's doing what they should be doing, you're going to have a fight on your hands because you got to fight against the degenerates amongst your group, just like some of these dudes got to fight degenerates amongst their group. This is not going to be an easy battle, ladies and gentlemen, to fight for righteousness, balance, and correctness amongst our communities. We're going to have to work, and some of us will do the work, and some of us will just tap out and escape because our people are in a sick position mental-wise in the head, and it takes a serious snap with a finger or a rude awakening or a collapse to hopefully shape them back up into reality, unfortunately. But I digress. What else? For the choices that made in men, the choices they made in men. Being disagreeable, defensive, argumentative about everything, always finding something to nip-tuck about, looking for perfection. If you mention anything about doing something kind for the men, they chose, or they're choosy, it is, what is he going to do for me? And the list goes on and on and on and on. It goes on and on and on. It does go on and on because they're selfish. You better do for me, and I don't ask nothing in return. Just be grateful that I'm around your presence. I heard such preposterous wording from certain content creators say that, from what I'm hearing, say that men are here to serve women. And I could tell by the statement they make, I could tell why you as a woman, you are a Swiffer. And it makes sense that you will have sex with men and just get up and walk like it's nothing because you're disconnect. You use your vaginal canal as the incubator for a lot of things to go in and be sucked up and nothing to draw out, unfortunately. But but we're not going further than that. Let's continue. Now that doesn't excuse men behavior. A lot of men think because they are high earning, it makes them a high value man. No, or what we would like to say not. Those who are loyal followers know I get on them hard as well. This post just isn't about them. I have just made my contributions and impact in the areas for decades to come. I have over 50 courses that women who may need it, blah, 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 blah. That's it. And she closed a matchmaking service back in 2013. So she had right here, why I'm closing my dating academy and getting out of the business of helping women in this way. The same reason why I closed my matchmaker service in 2013. And I'm going to tell you right now, people, personally, matchmaking is a very strict business. It's a very hard business. It's not for the faint of heart. If y'all know that. If y'all know that. So, that's that with the article. Now, let's look at the audio side of things. Hold on. Let's hear from the woman herself about in more detail. And let me see if I can mark this. Okay. As I played on, I will give commentary. Listen good.
April Mason here, and I know y'all have been looking for me, but here I go about my post about retiring from the dating industry. And so let's talk about what my next moves will be and what direction I'm going in and how I'm moving more towards helping the fellas. Let's talk about it. So I'll wait for y'all to come on in here. Come on in here. Come on in here, darlings. I had to take that phone call. That was important, Auntie. That was important. It's my water. Excuse me. Come on in here. So, yes. I made the announcement that I am retiring from the world of teaching women how to date, right? And that doesn't mean I'm leaving you all. It just means that I'm moving in a different direction, okay? And what I found, and I gave my reasons why. I figure, everybody wants you to keep it real, so let's keep it real, what's really going on behind the scenes. And I'm someone that have been doing this for over 10 years, so I've seen it from across the board, and I've had the ability to make proper assessments, not somebody that just popped up or, I've been doing it for a couple of years. No, I've been doing this for over 10 years. And we have some amazing success stories. Don't get it twisted. Our women are doing a doggone thing. The ones that are putting in the work are doing a doggone thing. I'm not talking about a small group of women. I'm talking about more of a collective of women, and what I find and what I see on a regular basis. So y'all read my post about what it is that I deal with, my team deals with, whether we are. And let me say this is not necessarily just on the internet, because I don't really take internet people that, that have something to say really serious. I'm talking about the places that I go, the energy that I see, and how they interact, right? That's more from what perspective that I'm talking about. People, but you don't hold the men accountable. It's not my job to hold men accountable. It's my job to hold you accountable, because the men are held accountable when you have a standard. Period.
Boom. I miss my sound effects. I should have used them, but, not for this particular stream. There you go. But you see, people are watching each other. And that's the problem with a lot of people in a lot of spaces overall. Yeah, it's nice that some men said women should be held accountable, yes. But we'll leave that up to certain women that it's respectful to do that, hopefully. But if that all else fails, some dudes will let these women know personally with their voice and their feet, walking out, turning, and going in a different direction. But yeah, it is normally a job that once somebody is holding the standard of accountability, and this could be a two-way street if we want to go there. But when we look at this society and us people, we are looking at each other saying, no, you do this, and I'm going to do this. And we all know that's not the case. But like I said, it's not the job of Miss Mason to sit there and say, constantly wagging their finger on the men while you give mediocrity. No, that's not going to work. She's going to hold you more of a standard than anything else, because you do carry life, you do move certain ways, and you do certain things. And if you start lacking badly, you just don't get picked, boo-boo. It is what it is. It is what it is.
So it's not my job to hold them accountable for nothing. It's my job to help you raise, it was my job to help you raise your value and self-worth and your confidence for you, so that you don't have to worry about who holding the man standard, who holding the man to accountability. You don't have to worry about that, because now you don't choose men that need to be held accountable in that manner, okay? I hope that's making sense. My job was never to tell you, to talk about, these men in a way that continues to confirm your belief. My job was to dismantle those beliefs that you have about men and yourself by showing you there's a better way. And when you get that done and you take that filter off, right? You take the filter off, you see something different. But the more you worried about who holds men accountable, the more you are keeping yourself away from what it is that you really want. So that's always been my thing. I've never been a 5 ways to get them to call you, 10 ways to get them to like you. No, my stance have always been become a feminine woman for you first, create a dope life for you first, and the man is the added bonus. I've always taught y'all that. If you're new to me, that's what I've always taught, right? So, of course, folks been through their stones now, now y'all a lesbian. Now they say, I done had plastic surgery. I ain't had no plastic surgery nowhere, honey. Now they say I'm a scam and where her man. They always come up with this, but not realizing you can say whatever you want to say. Still nobody wants to work with you. Your results are still the same, right? So that's classic deflection. And then it becomes, but why isn't anyone getting on the men? You got to understand, you're worried about the wrong thing. You should be worried about how do I not have to deal with, how do I choose men that folk don't have to get on? trying to do it the other way around, you wear yourself out. Ain't got time for that. I need to see what's going on within me that causes me to choose this, so I can come on Miss April's page and write a book about the jokers I've been dealing with. And all Miss April says is, so let's deal with what's causing you to choose them. Because there's a whole nother demographic of men out here that you're not choosing because you don't see them, because you can't. So I did my job. I believe in exiting on a high note. People were like, oh, it must not be lucrative. No, it's very lucrative. Let me tell you something. This business is extremely lucrative, and for me, it has to be something more for me than the money to make me walk away. Because, we just did our launch for our Dating Academy, and we just added over $80,000 extra per month for the ladies that just came into our academy. I'm cutting it off on April 15th. Okay, so, and that's not including those that were already in there. And so if you want to talk about a lucrative business, I'm going to tell you why it's so lucrative and why so many men are making so much money off of women talking about dating and kind of even pandering to them. You want to know why? Come closer. Tell you why. Let me see what y'all saying. I'm going to tell you why. You really want to know why these men are making millions of dollars off of y'all? Because it took me a while to accept. Okay, hold on. Y'all ain't telling me you don't want to hear yet. I need y'all to tell me why y'all want to hear, if y'all want to hear it first, because this is going to blow your mind a little bit. I'm going to tell you why this business is extremely lucrative, especially for somebody myself who is very well respected, has influence, and knows what she's talking about. Okay, so here it is. The reason why this business is so lucrative, because the majority of women that come, if you were someone that just wanted to give garbage and pander to them, you can. You know why? Because women don't want to do the work. They just want a better dick. Women come to me to become better women so they can attract a better dick. Now, if I...
Boom. Boom. Now, mind you, I heard it all. Yes. I heard it all. But that right there, that just seals the deal and seals your fate, ladies. You're here to go into these circles, get this game, which you'll pay out your fucking purse, which you will pay dearly, so you can learn how you could fake it to possibly obtain it and get the larger phallus. Meaning somebody that has maybe some little bit more resource, most likely and mostly a non-black man. Oh, actually, my fault. An actual black man, because still most of every race people still date and mate with each other. But we let that skip that part. That every race of man and woman still wants to copulate with their own still. Don't be fooled by saying that these people are, especially in our community, date now and more, and we have a young generation that's not even interacting. They still want to attract the opposite sex, and it's mostly that looks like them on the average. So women like what April Mason has revealed, that they're coming in here just to learn how to swingle and what we call get that extra bag with a bigger phallus, aka dick. And a lot of dating coaches, not these academies that's built right now, or these things that's pushing the fakeness in a way, so that way they could able to obtain what I like to call a sucker. Can anybody say Brittany Renner? That's another story. But, even now, some of these older chicks that's probably approaching the 30s, that's approaching the wall stage, and then after 35, you hit the wall, like slam into the wall, that these things that's been said now throughout the digital space, the podcast and the internet, the YouTube and stuff, it has now been proven factual, and everything what I always see has been revealed. See, one thing, if you have not learned from Chaos Reign, and I've said this earlier, but I will say this again. The normal attention span for the human being is less than 5 seconds. That is no good. You cannot absorb or obtain any valuable information under the 5-second threshold. So I'm here, Chaos Reign. I'm here to raise your attention span so you go further and beyond 5 seconds. Because God knows your attention span goes further than 5 seconds to things that have no value or relevance. And I mean relevance to your life. So, these people are out here making and creating things so that way they can get your little bag so that we can go out in the world and get somebody else's bag with a bigger dick. Well said. And I see it constantly, and I see it now because I see them talk about it throughout their social media and other digital outlets. So let's continue.
Was a woman that was out here just trying to not help you fix yourself and just gave you these strategies and these steps, oh shit, I could still be making the money. We've already pivoted. We've already replaced what I make with the dating academy and getting it somewhere else that doesn't require, all of this extra mouth. Okay? So if you really want to know why so many men are successful in the dating space, is because they wrap their mind around what it took me years to wrap my mind around. They understand women don't really want to be better for themselves. They just want a better dick. So when people say, oh, it must not be working, you must not be making no money. Oh, no, that ain't it. It's money in it, honey, and the fellas know it. They know it. That's why they're making millions of dollars. That's why they have millions of followers, right? Because, and here's the thing, I don't have millions of followers. Well, I reach over 3 million people per month on Facebook, and I have about close to 450,000 followers on Facebook. But here's the deal. I've been in the game longer than they have, right? And guess what? I don't pander to y'all. I don't coddle you. I don't get on the man ain't shit bandwagon. I teach you how to be a better woman to pick better men, but that's not what women want to hear. They want to hear he's a fuckboy. They want to hear he ain't about nothing. They want to hear that it's not their fault. So those guys has the millions of followers and making millions of dollars because they know y'all won't shit but a better dick. Fork drop. So it's easy.
Doesn't Derek Jackson ring a bell? Doesn't Lavasky ring a bell? I've been hearing about these men for some time around other black men in this so-called space for 2 years now. And mind you, I'm not fond of dating, mating, or bullshit coach like that. They have their importance at times, but I just don't, when I look at it, say, what's the point? What's the point? Be fair and honest with y'all. I don't know. But my thinking is this, that you want to be self-loading. You want to not feel it's not your fault and want to point the blame on other people. And this applies to the men as well. But if you think about most men, they've been raised by their fucking mother for such a long time. This is the mentality a lot of young children develop. And people can't argue me from that, because where you get this thinking from? You got it from your mother. Okay, your mother passed down to you, and it passed out to son, the daughter, and they come grow up, and this cycle repeats for 10, 20, and even 2 generations at best. And this is the after effects of our community after the 80s. So now you think that you're not the fault, you're not the problem, it's the men out here. And I hear this constantly in Clubhouse with a lot of women. No accountability, no responsibility of who you pick. And I'm going to say this is going to hurt a lot of people. There was a woman, was breaking news. A woman, I'm not sure how old she is, I think she was in her 30s. She was found killed by a F-boy. And not just any F-boy, but a boy that's in the criminal element. But what would take a lawyer to go our way to go be dating and mating a low-level thug? The ones they call the Pookie Rere. I'll tell you why, because they don't take accountability for responsibility for oneself. So if that man, that dude didn't take his life but broke her heart, or she just walk out, she gonna think that every black man she come across is the same. And I'm telling you, sweetie, no, oh no. This is a new time, new generation. And this not applies to the lawyer woman that lost her, but this applies to most women that push content throughout podcasts, YouTube as well. They say the same thing like what Miss April Mason has laid out. And they need to come around channels, echo chambers, to let them know, say that this man is shit. He's an F-boy. All men are F-boy and shit. And she just proven evident that they don't want to hold accountability to the men they select. And trust me, they are selecting these dudes. Now, is there a reason, the pathology why most women select the so-called F-boy? There is. But we're not going to detail, because we're going to stick with why you are and what you're at now, what you going to be in the present and moving forward to the future. And for those that's listening, I will reiterate the title of the stream. The title for today's stream is titled T.R.S. presents Sex is on the Table. Now, people don't understand why is the term sex on the table. April Mason is going to really explain it better than I can. So let's continue listening.
So it's easy to get your money. But as a woman, as myself, that actually want to see you better as a woman, not necessarily better for a better dick, that many of them don't want that. Or what y'all said, oh wait, yeah, I see y'all in the comments. It's what it is. I'm giving you the truth. If you ever want to make money, and if you have no good or you have ill intention, or you just want to give service, get into the business of teaching women about men and how to date. No, Mama. And then give them surface level stuff. And you will become a millionaire, because they will not do the work for themselves. They will only do it because they want a better dick. So me walking away from over $100,000 per month cash cow is it's more, I guess for me as a woman, it's more heart for me than the money side, you know? Like I said, what I'm doing, me walking away, has been 2 years in the making. I felt like this for a little while, so this is 2 years in the making. And we had to make sure we supplemented that income before I just totally walked away, because your girl ain't stupid. You know, I am the feminine CEO.
Don't knock the hustle. Don't hate the game. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. That's what it's always been. will say this and say this again. You live in a fucking capitalist system, people. And the whole premise of capitalism is to take from you and keep all. And I mean to keep all to myself. That's how the game works. This one was making roughly over $100K a month. If I do my calculator right now, which I'm going to do right now, because I got to see the numbers. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is not a popular stream. I know me putting this and talking about this is not popular. I might not get no calls tonight on this stream because this is very much triggering. Now I think about it. Because this is revealing the true nature of the modern day woman / modern day black female / black woman on where her head's at and where she is now and where the future holds for her. So let's do the math. 100K times 12 months. You're looking at this one was grossing $1,200,000. Now imagine she did this for over 2 years. 2,400,000, and she did this for 5 years, for another 2 years. So if she did this for roughly, let's say 4 to 5 years, and after she said 2 years, but let's say she stayed longer, I would walk away too, because I got the capital enough to make even better moves. Just by telling you and selling you snake oils, I became a millionaire in 1 year. Besides, depending how she has to fund herself and pay back in taxes, which is nothing. That's nothing. That is nothing. But people don't understand saying, why would she, all people decide now, why? Because she made her money. Just like certain other organizations that made money off the lives and death of black men, which I'm not going to go and reveal to y'all. That when it comes to the black community, and I'm going to go there tonight, people are going to leech off us, suck the blood. Like literally, suck your blood until there's nothing to suck left. And then they discard you and go find the next host to feed off. I want that to sink in for all those that's listening. Let's let that sink in. Let's keep going.
Okay, so, we do have to make sure that's right. But that's the honest truth. It's very lucrative in that space because look who's making most of the money in this space, helping women. It's men who are pandering to them. Well, guess what? That's what they behinds want. They don't want to be told, sis, your expectations are too much. Sis, you need to do some healing work. Sis, the way you talk to men, you should not talk to them that way. Sis, you can't be mad at what you chose. Sis, let's deal with why you choosing that. They don't want that. They want to hear he ain't nothing but a fuck boy. So when a person like me comes and starts sharing from a woman that has been in their shoes, I become, she a lesbian, she a scam, she all this stuff, but yet they don't realize they're getting scammed on the other side by a lot of these men. Am I making sense? Let me put my other glasses on.
It's a famous saying from the movie Metro. When Eddie Murphy was protecting his future girlfriend, or I should say long-term girlfriend that will eventually be his wife, the man said best, when you think you think you're fucking everybody else, you just got fucked. The same dudes I told you, Derek Jackson, Lavatsky, all these other men, men that has books, programs, and all forms of accessories, all designed to get your money. And we could probably say pastors too if we want to go there, but we're only talking about the people that's not affiliated by church, but the ones that have a voice and have a big following throughout social media that's telling what you want to hear, they're making the most out of your black behind. So, and one thing you have not taken out of this stream, notice that anytime a man or woman, but we're going to say most men that look good and telling you what you want to hear and not giving the real honest truth, they're scamming you. That's why if you look at most content creators now, moving forward, and this is a disclaimer for anybody that listens to this. If you're a woman over the age of 20 or over the age of 35, and you have not made decisions of the people, the men that you entertain, that you are sexually attracted to, that live an imprint, you need a goddamn cleanse. And get cleansed tomorrow, if all means. Because these people that you listen to or you consume are telling you what you want to goddamn hear. That's why when I hear women thinking the way that they ones want to solve the problem, they're not solving no goddamn problem, because they're going to still be out here in the streets effing and sucking and screwing all bunch of men that they're sexually attracted to, even to the point where if children come to play where they get knocked up, because sex does lead to procreation. It's not just some little fun act. I don't know why people keep thinking you're just sitting there just getting your back blown out like it's nothing. No, it's a procreation act that you're going to escape the fruits of life. So, like I said, she's dropping some real serious game. Let's keep listening.
But what about the ones who are working on themselves? What about them? I'm not sure I understand what you're asking me.
No, I'm trying to tell you how to do it.
You're walking away opened a whole bunch of doors.
It's okay.
Yep, some prefer to walk in stress than doing the work. Absolutely. Yes, the truth makes you look at yourself. You know what the truth does? The truth makes you see how dope you aren't. Okay? That's what it does. You ask me what I'm doing? Oh, I just got finished picking flowers. Anytime I need my peas, these are azaleas, I come and pick flowers. Like, I'm a woman that really believes in living a stress-free life. The hustle and the grind, yes, I do business, yes, but I operate from a feminine CEO standpoint. I don't hustle, I don't grind, I'm not a boss chick, I'm not a bad bitch, I don't work all day. I'm more in pleasure and surrender mode, because that's where I get what it is that I need. I live a very zen life, although I make a very powerful impact. I've learned how to formulate my day and my schedule. I don't really do a lot of work, because what I'm not going to do is put more stress on my body and my mind. Do you have something for those of us that could not get into your dating academy? Oh yeah, you can go to aprilondemand.com, and there are videos that you can rent and buy. But we have something, actually, that phone call that I had to take was in regards to what I'm going to do next for those of you that could not be a part of the Dating Academy. But if you want to get started, I have about 30 videos on April On Demand that you can rent or buy. But I do have something coming for you, since I am retiring from working with women. However, I will be working with more of the fellas. Okay, so let's move into this, I'll be working more with the fellas because, first of all, men are easier to work with for me. They are. People say, oh, they're egotistical, they don't want to listen. No, when you wrap a feminine delivery around logic and give them some stats and data, they listen. That's why I say women don't know how to talk to men. You talk to them from an emotional place. So, I've been coaching men, some of your favorite celebs and 7 and 8 high earning entrepreneurs for years behind the scenes, right? And what I find is they listen so well. So what we're going to be doing is offering some things for them as well as you might see some of my social media posts start to shift. And teaching those type of men, because what happens is when I'm in that space with them, they have everything. They're public successes and they are private failures. So they understand how to make the money and has to hustle and grind, but they never know how to keep a good woman by their side. Yes, the app will remain active. Only thing that's changing is I'm closing the dating academy, and I'm no longer working with women in the area of dating. I still will be talking about femininity, but I just won't be doing the whole dating academy. Dating coach is being dropped, from my name. So but the All Things Feminine Social Club app, it will stay. It will stay. Because I'm still all about femininity. If this is just more about dating, I'm not willing to do that. So I'll be teaching the fellas. Well, I won't be teaching. I'll be sharing with the fellas how to choose a legacy woman, how to choose a woman, how to know the difference between if you're choosing a wise woman or a woman that is unwise, how to know how to run away from a woman that comes to you showing you what she can do instead of what she can be. Okay, so I'll be getting into that. Will you add back the feminine CEO? No, I'm not adding that back, but I do have something coming for you all that will give you access to that. But no, I'm not bringing it back. So I'm moving into other areas, and those fellas, when I say they listen, because they get it, and it's like when I was at the Promised Land on Sunday for our brunch at Ross's home, I was the last woman there. I was there at probably extra 2-3 hours after everybody had gone, and I was in the kitchen talking to a bunch of wealthy men, and we got into the area of relationships, and they were like, sis, well, I pay you $25,000 to help me with this. I need your coach. Can you come here? Can you come? Because a lot of us, men, especially black men, we're engineers, and we want a sister, but we can't, we don't understand. And, to be fair, like I told them, I wouldn't even date any of you, because what you're asking for, that you're not that version of you yet that can get that. So, when a woman becomes into her own as far as who she is as a woman, we have a different criteria that we look at. So, one of the guys, he said, see, Miss April, I never hear a woman talk the way that you do, that you know how to, you know how to go in and out of different subjects and how you present it. And he said, where one of you at? I said, one of me wouldn't date one of you. And that's because one of me requires a different version of you that's in there, but you don't know how to get to them. Okay? So with that, that's part of where I'm moving into, more from a private coaching standpoint, and more of group coaching standpoint for the fellas. Women, the ladies, for those that are in my dating academy, you get me hands-on in there, but everything else will be on digital. You can. I have years of content, y'all. I didn't put time in the game. I didn't realize how much content I had, y'all, because I started my work in the dating arena back in 2009 or 10. I think my first video was in 2010, and it was called Single No More at the time. Some of you that have been following me for a while, you'll know that's what it was called back then. And so, yeah, I was like, well, all of this content, and it's still relevant. So with the fellas, y'all been asking me for a long time. Hey, but we said 7 tomorrow. Yes, that's my trainer confirming 7 a.m. tomorrow, Lord. I've been in the game for a while, and it's just time to move on. Nothing bad has happened, or still very lucrative. All of that. But I'm not a money-driven woman. I'm a peace-driven woman. I'm all about effectiveness, So we constructed a completely new business model, and it's for men, especially the high 7-8 figure earning men. I will be helping others that can afford to invest, but I know my strengths, and when you have to assess your strengths, and I watch all of those type of men that I'm in the room with, just being in the room with them, and I'm watching how they are so amazing in business, but couldn't pick the right woman to save their life. And then that's when we get into the little boy childhood traumas, but women, no, he need to heal himself. Well, some men weren't loved properly by their mothers. Some men were not nurtured by their mothers. It doesn't mean you come in and being anything. Or it doesn't mean you come in and do anything. You just come in being what a woman is. She's a nurturer. She's not mothering. You know, we're not talking about mothering a dude. We're talking about just being kind. Okay? Just being nice. You know, speak it in a tone that is just, you know. Girl, I was about to say, I know Haley ain't out here. I was about to say, I know what Chloe and Haley doing down here at the place picking pumpkins. I had to do a double take. But, you know, it's understanding that a feminine woman heals with just her presence, not nothing that she's doing. So when I hear women saying, Miss April, you talking about healed a little boy in him, he need to heal himself. Well, your ass ain't healed. You got to understand, people don't heal outside of relationships. There's only so much you can do by yourself. So we the bomb while we by ourselves. You know, everybody's the bomb by themselves. That's why I tell my ladies in my academy, Miss April, I'm going to be celibate. Yeah, because nobody's checking for you. Nobody that you want is checking for you, which is why you can be celibate. Okay? And everybody's, I'm going to heal myself, and I'm going to heal me first. You will not know how healed you are or aren't until you get into a relationship with someone that triggers you and heals you at the same time. Because the trigger doesn't mean it's toxic. It just means there's something in you that has to heal. That little girl, I still got the little girl. That only having the opposite of what caused the wound. Am I making sense? Everybody I'm healed. I want to, you know, we need to stop putting men's healing on black women. I never said that. I said being a wise feminine woman, her presence heals the little boy in him and the man shows up. It doesn't mean that he hasn't been the man. It just means the next level of man is showing up. But everybody want to think that you think you're great until you get into a relationship. That's why the hundreds of women that have come through my academy, well, actually thousands of women that come to my academy, when they finally meet the guy, they be like, oh my God, Miss April, I don't know what to do. It's because you've been doing all this work with me to get to this point. Now he's here. Uh-oh. What I'm going to do now? How am I going to respond now? And it's triggering. I have to walk them through. Let's decide if this is a trigger for something unhealthy or if it's a trigger of the past, something that we still need to heal. We have to decipher intuition and fear, because they can feel the same. Okay? So women be screaming that, not realizing I've been working with women for in the dating space for over 10 years, but over in general for almost 20 years. And women be so broken. They've been main ones that think, well, I've been healing myself. No, you've been passing time.
All right, guys. Yeah, she said a lot. I wasn't really keeping up, but like I said, her focus is on the men for not only more capital gain, but that's the direction she sees the market going. Because as you know, gentlemen, there is a slow rise of incelism, and a lot of men that I'll say a story. I remember there was a certain stream on Mr. Riley's channel. And what I've noticed, there's a particular man from a certain state, Upper East Coast, if I can remember what state was it again he was at. Was it Connecticut? Might be heard? Or was it in Massachusetts? It was one of them states where he was sitting back and hoping the one they called KS, Kevin Samuels, to hope and help him and other men that are, I guess, either awkward or did this men that just are afraid to talk to women, that he's going to improve the market to make these women, in his mind, approach him and come back to the table for these set men so that they don't have to do no work to try to put himself in front of the woman, or, just to have the conversation, or, be interactive with the woman. And when I heard that, I almost fell off my chair in shock to find that there is a group of men, some that probably did what they should be doing in life, working, going to school, obtain some certifications or trades or whatever, and hoping that one particular contract is going to reverse and fix the market. And a lot of those same gentlemen on that same panel had to sit to re-educate this certain man and say, it is not the job of this man to help improve and get women in line so you can have a mate. So I'm thinking that if this is where the mindset a lot of men are waiting for one particular consecrate to get these women back in shape, change the attitude just to make it easier for them without even doing their necessary work, and even go as far as you're supposed to, if you work and come home and do it again, you don't have no life. You have to get out there and go out in the clubs, use the dating apps, and put yourself in front of some of these women. You can't sit there and hope that one man's going to change the mindset of a whole set of women, particularly black women, so you have a mate. That's not how that junk works, partner. And I was very disappointed in that same conversation that was on Mr. Riley's channel. And I just want to give you this scenario because there are a set of men that's willing not to do their end of the bargain just to be sociable. And the whole thing with dealing with women, you got to be at least sociable. And throughout that conversation I heard on that channel, this man, like many men, if they're faking and operating like that, you're not getting no woman at all. Hell, the only thing you're going to get at the end of it is a pool of Vaseline and lotion in your hand. So to a lot of older men or young men that's getting waiting for women to get right, you keep waiting and see what happens to you. Let's keep playing.
You've been passing time. So people think because they're by themselves and I'm not dealing with the BS that they're healing. No, you're passing time. That's what's going on. And so that's why you can pass time and then have the same story about men. How is it that you say you're doing the work and you grow in your area of finance, you go back to school, you learn a new trade, you learn all these different things, right? But time has passed and your belief and view of men is the same. Answer me that. How is it that I'm doing the work, but as soon as somebody says something to you about a man, your response is the same as it was when you got hurt? That's how you know. So you can do all of this work on yourself, but normally it's outer work and just withdrawing. It's not that you're doing work, you're actually withdrawing. And so you withdrawing makes you believe that you're doing the work. But 10 years down the line, you've been by yourself. You haven't been interacting with men, but you've been elevating in other areas to where you can say you've expanded and you can see the growth, but yet 10 years down the line, your view and conversation about men is still the same. But you're smart, though, because you got your degree and everything, girl. This is what I'm talking about, right? This is what I'm talking about. So, I've done my contribution in this area, and there's hundreds of digital products that we're getting ready to add to the site. I have a new website, and fellas, I will have more of kind of a male color scheme website for you all. And then I do for my fellas that are watching that are more on the public figure side. All my clients, I give them a confidentiality agreement, and we work together, but it's more of an experience versus we sit across the table from each other. What I've done, and I can share with you what I've done. Normally, when I'm working with those fellas, I'm working in their space. It's not from a sit across the table from you and have this conversation. No, we're in the kitchen cooking. We might go on a picnic. It's an experience, and it allows you to be open and vulnerable so I can see where the discrepancies come in. I can see it because, we're not sitting across the table. We're not in a business meeting. You don't have your defenses up like that. Let's chill. Let's enjoy ourselves. Let's have a good time. And then what happens is the fellas start to open up, and I get to see their trauma. I get to see their hurts. I get to see what happened with their mother and their father. I get to see what they saw in relationships, and I get to also see that softer, intimate side that they want to share, but don't know how. They know how to sleep with you, though. So they have always had women that around to sleep with, but they're still extremely hollow and empty inside. Am I making sense? Hey, well, don't give up on us, ladies. There are still good ones. I didn't give up on you. I'm just not working with you privately or personally anymore. I'm not giving up. That's why my book, Identity Switch, Becoming the Woman Who Gets What She Wants, it's for y'all, but actually it's for everybody. Men can read the book as well, too. I'm just not extending any more of my energy toward women in that particular way, in the dating arena. I'm not in say I wouldn't help y'all. I still have my All Things Feminine app, where I'm helping you embrace your femininity. The investment for that for now is $14.99, but the price will be going up, so you might want to lock in. But I'll still be helping you in that area. But when it comes to dating and men, for coaching, no. The book will be available. Let me tell y'all. The book will be available in the winter, but what's been so funny is how the book came about. And I think I've explained that before, but I'll explain it again later at a later date. But how it came about and how we had to move swiftly, because when it hit me. And so it'll be available we're scheduled for winter, December of this year. Hopefully we don't have to push it back till January, but it looks like we'll be right on track. Yes, Identity Switch. But if you're looking for any material, just to get started, you can go to Amazon. My book, Are You an Asset? 11 Keys to Being a Woman Who Brings More to the Table Than Her Appetite, was a bestseller. So you can go get that. And we have some really great reviews. I think there's a couple typos in there because the wrong version got updated. But look past any of the typos. It's the content, honey. It's the content. The price per session. I don't do coaching. So there's no sessions. I don't offer private coaching at all for women. I don't, because I have too much content out there that if it's followed and you embody it, you wouldn't need really one-on-one coaching. Now, if you need more, that might be a therapist. But what I've contributed in creating products and services, it's there already. What y'all say? Kevin Samuel spoke about you last night. He spoke wonderful words. Oh, awesome. Somebody say he did a whole video about you. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I got to see some of it. Y'all was tagging me, and I got to see some of it. And, the thing was, I actually listened to what he had to say, and he's just on point. Y'all just may not like his delivery, and, of course, we don't agree with everything everyone says and how they deliver it, but it doesn't take away the fact of what is. I can't say that, once again, we don't agree with, I don't agree with everything, but what I heard last night and how he broke it down, I think I only got the last little piece, but it made sense, okay? It made sense to me because everybody is wanting to be a boss chick and a bad bitch, and he said something about everybody want to manifest these millions and manifest. How did he say it? These women out here want to manifest millions and manifest these 8-figure dudes, but they don't know how to be wives. And he's absolutely correct because the men that these women want don't need them for no money. They don't need you for no money. It's like women they use the wrong bait. And that was one of my biggest determining factors of walking away, because they would always come to me wanting this 7, 8-figure dude that have all of this stuff, but yet the bait that they were using to try to snag that guy was their degree, their education, their tongue tricks, their bodies, but not realizing those type of men that don't. Okay, what attracts them, of course, is the visual, but I talked about this before. I said when Young Jeezy decided he wanted to get married, he didn't go get no big booty twerking chick. He didn't go get that. He went and got somebody that was to the piece to his chaos, or I won't even say to his chaos, because he started transitioning. He's there. A lot of these guys, especially these rappers, a lot of them, if you pay attention to the older heads, they're moving into their Jay-Z season, and the woman on their arm is not going to be the women that they may have messed over. It sucks, but people come into alignment and growth on their terms. You know, they gonna be looking for their Marjorie Harvey. Okay, you know, Marjorie was in her 40s, mid-40s when she got with Steve, right? So when they start talking about age and all of this stuff, no, it ain't that. It's when you start going into a different season of your life, you want something different. What was good to play with ain't good to have. It is not good for my legacy. Okay? So, yeah, they'll hit and dip, and they'll wine and dine you, because I always tell them, a man spending money on you, a man with financial means spending money on you is appreciated, but it doesn't mean much, because it doesn't require anything from him. But a busy man that gives you his time says everything, because that means he's getting emotionally connected to you, because he's giving up his time. Well, especially if he's a visionary man, a man that of means, a man that's of legacy, a man of vision. He don't have time to be sitting back, spending time with you. He might take you on a trip for the weekend, take you to a nice dinner, buy you a Birkin bag, buy you some shoes. That is easy for him. But if he's saying, I want to see you and I want to spend quality time with you, if this is outside of the bedroom, he's not trying to just peacock you, but he's trying to get to know you, that's something different. But y'all want I need an 8-figure dude, honey. Boop. But yet, what women don't understand, most 6, 7, 8-figure men are more conservative than you would like to think. So y'all got women out here telling y'all you want these 7, 8-figure type dudes, but yet they're here and you have not prepared yourself to be here, so you trying to get up here. You don't even know what it means to be a wife, because you're trying to do. Fellas, I will tell you this, any woman coming to your life trying to do stuff for you, run like hell. Run, because a woman, especially a feminine woman, she's not coming in doing anything. You don't need her for that. You need her for what she can be to you. Okay?
Boom. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, a woman could work, because this is a free country, and everybody works now, because they said we need 2 incomes. Nothing wrong with that. It's cool. But always, we got to play our role. Now, I always hear a conversation where a lot of women say that the dudes that they deal with don't pick up their weight. And I'm trying to understand, pick up the weight of what? You get me? You have a man there. If you're having sexual intercourse, he has to provide something. But from what I'm hearing from the rhetoric from a lot of these females, it seems to me that you like to be in control, because the complaints you have is nothing. And that's why you hear this so-called talk about the high value piece and all this, which is somewhat cool, but really truly, out of the amount of percentage of people in this country, not everybody's going to be so high value and meet the 6 monikers. So like anything, man has to make as much money possible and do his part. Now, if you have an intercourse with a man and he's not even doing or showing that he's doing his part, by any means, you doing all the work, I mean, taking up majority of the load. You always hear this notion of the 50-50 nonsense, which really women create, because most men never... Only time men start talking about 50-50 is they see their mothers doing 50-50 and they've been raised by one single parent. That's it. That's how I see it. Now, people could argue me back and forth, but men just don't come out the womb and they come out wherever they're doing in life, where from 18 as adulthood as men, and they're saying, I need a 50-50 relationship with a woman. I mean, that's just, it don't exist. To modern men or average men. Only time men hear this, or men's when you hear them really pushing it, and I'm going to go there tonight, is the ones that living off women. And there are many men, hell, some men on social media and YouTube, we know personally living off women. It is what it is. So obviously these are the dudes that's going to really talk about 50-50, or like to say more like 80-30 or 80-20. So when I hear the complaints, I say, does he have a job? No. Is he doing anything constructive with himself? Daytime. No. Then you have a homosexual male that he only good for one thing and one thing only. That porn chime, if you know what I mean. And I'm telling you, ladies, you get what you ask for. The penis. And you're looking for a bigger one, like Miss April Mace has said earlier. But let's keep going on. Let me see how long this is. Oh, we got like 20 more minutes of this. I'm only going to run 20 minutes of this.
You need her for what she can be. Be. Her presence, her essence. You know, the fact that she has her own life outside of you, that she puts herself first. A lot of them can't be for you because they don't know how to be a woman for themselves. They're so caught up in, well, I got my own house, I got my own car. He don't give a damn about that. The men that women come to me for don't care about that. How does she make me feel? Does her energy inspire me? Am I motivated just because she's around? Am I waiting for her to get home? Is her presence peaceful to me? They're not asking, can she cook and can she clean? Because they got people they can hire for that. But that's what y'all trying to sell them on. I can cook. And I can clean, and I got my own house, and I got that. I'm a good catch. No, you're a worker, B. Miss Mason don't work when she deal with me. I don't work. Every man that I've ever dealt with, once I came into this, knowing, they know I'm what's considered a kept woman. And they don't mind keeping me because of what I am to them. You know, they don't mind. I make that clear up front. I don't work. Now, do I have my own businesses and stuff? Yes. But if you're looking for me to go out there and labor and something, I ain't the woman for you. And I just never chose men or attracted men that needed that from me. They don't need me to pay no bills. They don't need me to go 50-50. They don't need me to see what I can do for them. They don't need me to buy them something to see if I'm a generous woman. They don't need that. So off the rip, men know with me, oh no, she's a cat woman, and they don't mind keeping me. They don't mind making sure I dress good, I live good, I drive good, and I eat good, or whatever else there is that I want because of what I am to them, what I embody to them, the inspiration, the motivation, you know, all of those other things. I did a whole video on this page, if you look down, of what a feminine woman brings to the table, not just a woman. And I mentioned nothing about material things. Do I have my own money? Okay, yes. I got all my stuff. But I don't lead with that, okay? So, like I said, men know with me, oh, no. She a cat woman. But I don't even have to say it because they value the woman in me, okay? And for a long time, I didn't want to be in no relationship. It was just like, okay, let me just go ahead and enjoy the male company. Because when you come into this awareness that I'm speaking of and that I've been trying to teach, you're not itching to get married. You're not itching to be in a relationship. Because once you get this newfound, oh my God, I never knew this existed, you want to bask in it for yourself first. Okay? So does your ex miss what he had? Yeah, we talk on the regular. He'll text me and say, hey, you want to go to Hawaii? And I'll say, oh, that means you want to pick my brain, because he said, everything you told me to do business-wise. I said, okay, honey, I hear what you're saying, but think about this. What about you sell that property, take the money from that property, buy this property, take that money from here, and do everything that I've shared is what it was. Now, my ex, we just weren't compatible on an emotional scale, but I can't say that I didn't get anything out of the relationship. But that's why we're not mad at each other. You know, it was a horrible breakup because we thought we were going to end up married. But then when you start growing and realizing what you need versus just what you're given, we were good business partners. To this day, I published one of his books, and I still get the royalties from that from back in 2013. And that's because even though I love you, you got to sign the contract, baby. Okay? Especially if we're not married, because we weren't married at the time. And my company did business with his company, and we just happened to be in a relationship. But here go the contract, darling. He had no problem signing it because he knew what I brought to the table. We would go places, and people would be like, "Oh my God, such and such, you're on billboards and you all over the place." He'd be like, "That's her. You did that." I'm like, "Honey, I know you're trying to go to the next level, but we need a photo shoot. We need this. We need to change your imaging." And I would go in there and do all that. And what would he do? "Babe, you want to go shopping?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go shopping." He said, "Man, everywhere I go, people know who I am." And that was just me doing what I do behind the scenes, just dropping little nuggets here and saying, "What do you think about this? Honey, I think you should write a book because I think you're really dope at this subject right here." And then I'll just go about my business. Next thing I know, a week later, "Well, April, what I was thinking about? I was thinking about writing a book." I don't care that I didn't get the credit for that. Because after the book signing, what did we do? We had about 300 people at the book signing. What did we do? "Are you ready?" "Yep." We had our bags packed going to Vegas. So I didn't care about getting the credit. It was, where we going? So I teach from a different perspective. I teach women how to make life easier for them with men. But when you come into this newfound understanding and how you've been operating, you're not pressed to just like anybody down because you have done the work on yourself and you've created a dope life for yourself that you love first. And so then it becomes, who's the best candidate to bring into my life? Who's the best candidate? So for me, here's a little secret. I can't even like a man that doesn't give me something of a vision. Like I'm an amplifier, so I amplify everything that I touch. So if you don't have a vision or something for me to amplify, just and use my feminine energy to amplify, I can't even like you because we have to have a purpose for being together. It can't be I like you or I love you or the sex is great. I would never accept a marriage proposal because I know foolishness like that. For me, it's about legacy. It's about merging. Okay? That's what it's about for me. So this is what I have been teaching women, and this is what I've been getting a whole lot of pushback from for years because they want to be strong. And so what happens is when a woman like me goes into the room with a bunch of men, I always get catered to, and it makes all the other women most of the time feel uncomfortable. She knows she could walk up the steps by herself. She knows she could open the door for herself. I don't have to. Why would I want to do that? So, and I've always taught, the more you level up in your feminine energy from the inside, not a feminine look. It's a lot of counterfeits out here that look the part, or people think because she wears a dress or some heels that she's feminine. No, that ain't it. It's a whole lot of women out here masquerading as feminine, but I can see straight through it. Okay? Y'all asked me what saved the lives. Y'all want me to save this life?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that's faking it, a lot of people. So I would agree with her on that one. They do. There's a lot. I mean, are the ones that I can name off the head? Some of them y'all well known and accustomed to, ones that had channels on YouTube, some that exist, some that they took down, some, rebranding. But they're out here, man. They're out here. But the problem is, people got to understand, you live in a capitalist world. You know what I'm saying? People are here to, like I said, suck your blood, get your resource, and keep and don't give back, And you must understand, in the West, we call America, it's designed that way. You always hear the notion, the haves and have-nots. There cannot be a have-not if they're training you to not value one's worth. So like any person, especially a woman and a man, you must have value about yourself. Do not give your value away to anybody so freely, especially men. You give it too freely. That's why in the world that you live in today, the world is always going to remain in chaos because you as a man, you have to have low expectations. You don't have no self-esteem. Even go as far as lower your standards. Does that sound familiar, fellas? I know it does. Let's continue. one thing, she is a helpmate from the rhetoric from hearing so far from April Mason. That's why she got a lot of the male attention, respectfully, because she is that definition of a helpmate.
Okay. I'll save the lies. But, so I'm moving more into helping the fellas because they listen quicker. They listen a whole lot quicker. And then I have some other projects that I'm not at liberty to share just yet because I'm under contract. So when it's time, I will share them with you. But understanding, ladies, it's so easy. Would you say out here dropping gems? I'm trying to told you. It's not that I'll make it so hard, with men, and men are very easy. And I think when you understand that and you understand your value, you don't need, when people ask you, so where your man at? That's not the validator for you. The validator is, I'm a dope-ass woman now because I did the work. The man is not the litmus test of if I'm a dope woman. The litmus test of, look at my life. The litmus test is, I'm in a zen place. The tangible result you want to see is the man. I don't see that as the prize. Because when people say, well, where your man at? That makes it seem like my transformation or my identity switch is not valid until there's a man there. Oh, God, no. Absolutely not. That's, all those fellas, let me tell you this. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. But I'm not validated by that. Okay? So the tangible result is you being a better you for you and watching how the world responds to you, not just the man. Okay? When you go from the inside out, everything around you is going to change, including your money. Okay? Which is what y'all always have a problem with. Coming to me about this here money and this man. But you're not doing the work. Yes, the man is the added bonus. So when if anybody asks our question and they but I hear you saying, where you at? I'm not teaching you about the man. I'm teaching you about you. So my shit does work for me. It's working. You're seeing it. But you're not valuing it, because the value to you comes from the man. Having the man. How many people have you seen with the man and y'all make relationship goals and you look around and it really wasn't a relationship? It's not the man. And the funny thing is, men know it's not them. They know that. They know they presenting with you, but y'all don't know. Y'all don't know it. So I'm moving on, and of course, we're redoing my website, and I'll have everything up on the website, our new offerings and things bundles that you can get of the courses that I have. Think about it. In our dating academy, I've been doing it since October of 2017. Every one a month, and sometimes bonuses. So that's how many? What? We're in October now. So that's 12 times what? 4? Child, it's all kind of good stuff up in there. And plus, the ladies now, they get me walking them through a lot of this. Okay? When was the podcast dropping? I'm not sure yet. We're working on it. We're working on the format we want to do. Yeah, you can go to April on Demand for some of the courses. The April on Demand courses aren't the courses inside of my dating academy. That just let me know how much content I can put out. Because I have like 30 courses over there that ain't even included in the dating academy, which there's 40-some courses over there. Okay? Yes, completeness will only acknowledge and receive what is complimentary. Absolutely. Absolutely. But women do it backwards, and they will fight you, or They will fight you when you try to show them, because in their mind, if you don't have a man, what you're saying is invalid. Not realizing I'm not teaching you about the man. I'm teaching you about becoming a better woman, and that byproduct of that is you being able to have better options. No, I didn't talk about a book tour. I didn't talk about, yeah, that stuff will be coming. But I was just wondering, I know y'all was looking, oh, hey, there go my daughter. Thank you, babe, for putting April on Demand out here. Let's see if I can pin it. No, I can't pin it. But it's April on Demand. Actually, the links are in my bio. The links are in my bio. But you got to understand, this whole journey is about you. I'm so used to being alone that I don't even know how to receive being in a relationship. And I can appreciate that that comment, because majority of the women that come to me have been by themselves for so long, but you can't tell their ass that they don't know how to communicate with another individual correctly. They don't know how to be under the same roof because they haven't been practicing it. They don't go out on dates. They don't even really interact with men. They don't look men in the eye or anything. But I'm doing the work, though. That's why I said all of this work that you're doing by yourself means nothing. Well, I won't say it means nothing. It doesn't have the same weight if nobody is challenging it. Okay? Somebody said, I've noticed the change how the world responds to me after your teachings. Awesome. That's what I'm telling you. Everything will change. So stop my dating academy. If you listen to, go to my website, teachmehowtodate.com, and listen to the testimonials, they will pretty much all tell you, I thought I was coming in here for this, but I got something completely different. Okay? It's not about the man. So don't let anybody make you feel some sort of way because you've done your work and the man is no longer your validator. No, I don't offer coaching. I don't offer coaching, but the courses that I have will coach you right on through if you do the work. There's always aha moments, and normally inside of my coaching, inside of my master classes, there's a whole nother master class that comes out of that, because somebody will ask a question and I go into something else to answer that question. So you definitely get quite a bit of information that if you apply it, you won't really need a coach. So with that, will you do a conference and workshop live? Actually, 2022 is going to be all about my book, Identity Switch. So we probably will be doing a conference on that because everything that I'm talking about today, even with you, it requires an identity switch, right? So 2022 is all about my app, my podcast, and my identity switch brand. Okay.
And for those that want to call in for tonight's show, 712-770-4160. The access code is 917-324-pound. I repeat, 712-770-4160. Access code 917-324-pound. Tonight's subject, Chaos Rain presents sex is on the table. To slowly almost wrap up the audio version of this, because there's still more. I think I'm going to let this run for like another 6, 8, 9 minutes at best. It goes back to show that a lot of people are still not willing to do the work. Like Miss Mason said, that a lot of women feel that they got it all like that, but they're not willing to do the necessary work. And let's be honest, in my opinion, most women are afraid of men. Especially if you got a Western thinking, philosophy, and a Western education. You're going to be afraid of men. And that's intentional, because the more you shy away from men, besides maybe getting some dick here and there, the more you're going to be a perpetual consumer. And one thing I'd agree with her, you don't need no actual paying for no serious coach. You just take the lessons, maybe watch some videos, read 1 or 2 books here and there, and just slowly engage in life and apply it. It's like rinse, wash, and repeat. It can be simple, but like always, we make it look difficult as it seems. And I want people to understand that it's not hard to turn around. If your intention as a woman is to get married with children, then you have to move with purpose. Just like the fellas. If your intention is you want to eventually get married, have children with a certain woman, you, like most men, depending on how your money is, if it's tight or needs adjustment, you go forth and move with a sense of purpose. Men are practical, ladies. We keep it simple. And that's why she's going to leave one market, focus on you, and now focusing on the fellas to make a money. But let's wrap this video up. Come on, I'm going to play a few more, and then I'm going to give
That's what I'll be doing. We're working out all of the details now about the identity switch, becoming, and I'm going to open that up to everyone, because what I'm going to be teaching in this book, even though it's geared toward women, and I geared it toward women because, I'm a woman and I understand, and it gets so excited to see when women make that switch. But my events identity switch will be for men and women, because everything that you're doing right now, what you're getting right now, is contingent upon the identity that you have. How you identify is why you have what you have right now. The type of women that you're dealing with is because of your identity. The type of men that you're dealing with is because of how you see yourself. Okay? So that's what this is about. So this next this next chapter of April Mason's life is not just strictly geared toward women. Now my All Things Feminine app is for women. That's for us. But I must smell good because these little bees keep coming over here, these little bugs. But my 2022, my book, the message in it is for everyone. My services are offered everywhere. If you can use the internet, you can purchase or rent my products. Do you have something for entrepreneurs? I sure do. I have the Feminine CEO, and we're getting ready to be able to offer you that as well too. We have about maybe 20 videos in there about what it means to be a feminine CEO and how to mesmerize on camera, because you always say, you're so good on camera. I had to get to this. And so I teach that. I teach what you should be selling for Black Friday. I got all kind of stuff. Like, I'm closing out this chapter of my life. Okay, and so this last few months of the year, a lot of that stuff will be doing way more closeout type stuff, so I can move freely into the 2022 year talking about identity switching. So I'll be closing out with offering you my business courses and the dating courses that I've done. So we'll be closing out, but we're going to bundle it all up for you so you can get more value out of it, pretty much more bang for your investment. Does that make sense? Are you mentoring? No, I don't mentor. I don't mentor, and I don't offer one-on-one coaching to women anymore. My courses are for anybody that want to be better. So I've had women that join my academy from 19 all the way up into their 70s. So what I teach is for people in general, okay? So we're doing a closeout. So, and then I have new merch coming. I'm waiting for the samples in the mail. So I'll be sharing with you guys some new merch, some new hoodies. Y'all know I get cold all the time. So I got some new hoodies coming, new merch. But like I said, this year, I'm closing out this year with everything. It's kind of like, wow, it's been over 10 years and I'm closing out that chapter of my life. Okay, I'm closing out, and I feel it. That's why, for those of you that have been following me through the summer, especially if you're in my All Things Feminine app, and I was doing one of our feminine lady lessons, and I told you I didn't know what I was going to do next. I knew I had tapped out, so I went into what I call feminine surrender mode, and I'll be teaching that inside of my app as well. So if you want more of learning how to be more of a feminine woman, go to your Google Play or your Apple Store and download my app, All Things Feminine. That's always going to be our girl place. I'm not leaving you guys over there. Just make sure you read the rules and follow the rules so you don't get banned, because we have trigger fingers. If you don't read the rules, we will block and delete, okay? So it's called All Things Feminine Social Club, and that's our social club for us. It gives you the feel of Facebook and Instagram all together. And every Sunday I do a feminine lady lesson. There are other videos in there, and I have an editor, and we're splicing some of my content up to fit in the app that you can watch to help you on your feminine journey. But when it comes to men, we don't talk about men or dating or anything in that app. This is strictly for you. The app launched on Valentine's Day. So I love it there. I love being of service to you there. Every month we have a challenge, and you're given homework assignments, and, I like it. So I'll always be there, but I'm moving into something else. Somebody says, what you say? I've been in the dating academy for a few years, and being in there has made me such a better woman. Not just dating, but for me, period. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
I'm going to pause for a second. I see somebody raise their hand. I'm going to open the line now for a few callers. Caller 1, open your line. Who's this?
Yeah, hi, Gary. Are we connected?
Yes. Who's this?
Good. This Solution.
Okay.
I'm not watching you on YouTube, so I'm just listening to you.
Okay.
Audio. So are you discussing relationships or male-female dynamic, that sort of thing?
Today's stream, the focus, and how long you been listening now?
Not too long, Gary. Maybe about 10, 15 minutes or so.
Oh, damn. Well, a lot of things I have discussed, but one thing with today's stream, the topic, sex on the table, how you find some of the women that teach dating courses or mating to women have slowly started to move a different direction, and now is solely focused on the men, like Miss April Mason. And I'm just playing her take verbally through her social media of our reasons and what's moving forward. And the funny thing with this clip is pretty lengthy now that I look at it, because we're looking at it's like 100 minutes. So we're looking at roughly over almost close to 2 hours.
Okay. And Gary, this is Sex is on the Table, if I understood you correctly?
Yeah, that is the title. And I will say, I didn't really go too deep about it, but that's the title.
I would like to speak to that because I think that's a very legitimate discussion.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I would just say that, fundamentally, men who date, those who have the guts and the courage and the fortitude to just be real, that's what we want as men. We want sex. Now, we may not want it immediately, but we do want it. And women generally want an open-ended, flow of goods from men without any committal, okay? And this is a huge issue, and I'm glad to be, present with it being so openly discussed. Now, you have the manosphere, and, of course, you have the herbivore movement in Japan. You have MGTOW in America and some of the other Western first world countries. And it's just dealing with the amazing resistance to real communication and participation coming from many women, not all women, but many women. Just for a quick example, there was a woman last night, and I appreciate this woman. She was asked a question, what did she demand from men? And she said nothing. Now, that's amazing. This is an intelligent woman, all of that, but she was unaware of her own entitlement, because when I talked about having a legitimate adult conversation with a woman that I'm interested in, for example, meeting her at a coffee shop and just having water on the table, no meal, not trying to feed her or anything like that. Now, if a woman tells me legitimately she's a charity case and needs food, well, obviously I have no problem buying her a meal, no problem whatsoever. However, if we're getting to know each other, coffee and conversation will suffice, because I'm not there to show her my wallet and, that sort of thing. I just want to have an adult conversation with her to see if there's a basis for moving forward. And I consider that purely mature and adult. But see, women come with a hidden entitlement agenda. They want a free meal. And just to give you this, I don't know if you read the article, but it pointed out that a third of women who go on dates are not interested in the man at all. They're only going on the date for the meal. And it says they are members of what's called the dark triad, Machiavellianism, narcissism, and there was one other. I forget the other one. But, so that's the problem is, women have so much power is that they don't have to look at real communicating. It's just demand. So, yeah, sex should be on the table. Men want sex. Healthy, normal women want sex. So why this game? It's crazy. And many women are very poor communicators. Now, they're great complainers. They complain fantastically. But they don't communicate very well because it's all about a damnable no-win game. And so I think, what do you think about meeting a woman for a date, and you meet at a coffee shop, you meet at a park, and you just have a conversation? What's wrong with that, Gary? What the hell's wrong with that?
Excellent question, Sam. My only answer is women want to be, I guess, dazzled, spoiled. What's the word? I mean, it's
spoiled a good term. No.
I mean, well, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to really think in words the same, but women want to be. I'll say this: women expect that you're going to go out your pocket and spend roughly maybe $150 or more a date, like a nice, decent restaurant. You know what I'm saying? All you eat buffet, something with wine in the table, and all that. You might, if depending how the night goes, you'll take her, you'll drive her, you'll spend the money, and after a while, if everything goes well, you go back and you take her home, wherever. She might pat you in the back and then close the door, and that be it. You know what?
Now, is that fair, Gary? In your opinion, as a man, is that a fair deal?
Well,
don't laugh at it. Don't laugh at it.
I get you. I'm answering. No,
yeah, okay.
It's not fair, but here's the problem. Because the article came out, I'll be honest with you, Sam, women look at men as utility. That's why when she did her matchmaking, her dating coach for as long as she did, she know the conversation what women really want, and really is unrealistic expectations. But they sure as hell will go out their way, and they will use you just to get food or whatever, or just to male attention, but nothing in return, like the sex part. You get me?
And you said, did I hear you correctly? I'm just trying to get clarity here. You said women look at men as utility. Is that what you said?
Yes, it's like a means for death.
No, I know what utility is. I just wanted to make sure that that was.
That's what I said. That's what. Yeah, you'll hear in their mind psychologically. And I said this earlier, Sam, that there are few consecrators said it best and told other women said that they believe and they sit out their mouth said that men are here to serve them. You get me? So when they make a declaration like someone like the consecrators, which you know I'm talking about, we're not going to give them free advertisement, how they say that they want to be selecting which comes out their wombs and stuff, which, selective breeding is a little weird if we want to have this conversation, but let's say we go there, you know what I'm saying? The same from what Europeans do in regards to remove, what they call it, the undesirables. You get me? And a lot of women that starting to think like that or are trying to push that, they already had that thinking like these people because they go for their institutions. You get me?
Right. Well, I'm not here to bash Europeans or any other group, but my point is...
I'm just going for the source, but go on, like I'm saying.
Right. Well, if women have that attitude, how the hell can relationships ever get off the ground or work? Because that's crazy. What you just described is narcissism to the nth degree. Now, look, I think women should be paid a great deal of appreciation if they're good mothers, if they produce a child. Just because a woman produces a child doesn't mean that she necessarily deserves any fanfare. That just proves that a womb works. But if she's a good mother, if she provides for the child, and usually one of the way of provisions is to be married before she has a child, because I believe that it's best, this child's best interest is served by having a mother and a father. So I say a woman should delay producing a child until she's married. Nevertheless, I think that, you know, just saying that you produced, look, we have a great, I was about to say, we need to appreciate women if they're good women and if they've done something to merit being good. But I think a lot of us men, we're afraid to really have a real conversation with women. We're afraid to have a real adult. I think many men see women somewhat as like a mother. Regardless as to what a woman do, she could cut his throat and he could be bleeding to death, and he's still thinking that she deserves some sort of praise or whatever. Now, these men may be hopeless, but the point is, I think with the way relationships are, you know, we've got to talk about this. I mean, sex, it's like we have knives and guns on the table, you know, and maybe a few cannons and lasers, but there's certainly not love on the table. And I think having the conversation for the people that it will help is saying to women, look, you've got to be fair. You can't be extremely narcissistic and feel that a relationship is all about, and you use this term, so I'll just use it too, service to you. I mean, a man or a woman who thinks that way, I think, is a bit depraved, but we have to say we're there for the mutual service of each other. So that means both people are bringing something to the table. Otherwise, it's parasitic. You know, the word parasite is Latin for dining at the table of another. You know, you're just there
Yeah, I said that earlier.
Yeah, you're just, right. You're just there to benefit. So I think, you know, and the lady that said that, she knows who she is, and she's probably listening, and she'll probably break in and set me straight. But the point is that she abhors and ridicules and lampoons a man who will not take her out on a first date and wine and dine her. And she's oblivious to, that's a demand. That's a behest on her part. This is what I want from a man. And when someone asks her, well, what do you demand of a man? That doesn't even come into her focus because it's just automatic, you see. She's not even aware of her demands. And I think this is a metaphor, or she's a metaphor for a lot of women. And this really hurts relationships because if women are just there to take, that's a problem, Gary. Speak to that.
The only thing, you as a man at the end of the day, you got to protect your self-worth and your self-interest. I say this again in the early part of this broadcast, is that women with certain mindset, yeah, you're going to be a vessel and a tool for their ever gain for their self-gratification. I mean, it is what it is. Especially living here in the West, we call America. You know, outside America, the mindset is a little different. Not too far different, but it's a little different because they are, I guess, culturate to deal with and respect and work with a man. You know,
right.
Here's a little different. And, you know, my thinking with a lot of brothers, because they're going to have a trouble, you know, finding either a sister or whatever their choice is. Because, you know, I'm not a dude, I don't advocate, you know, interracialism like that because I know the effects of it. But let's say dudes want to do that. That's their decision. You know what I'm saying? Just like most women.
Yes.
Just like most women are doing the opposite and they're praising a lot of them. They have no problem with that. So when I look at it and think long term, that
right.
It is a necessity to keep black males malnourished and suppressed mentally and spiritually in this Western hemisphere. And your mothers will be the catalyst to do that. You get me? Because let's be honest.
Yeah, I have a hardball for you. I have a hardball for you, Gary. A fastball when you.
Let me get this out the way.
All right.
The reason why I say this is because I hear the stories constantly what they're gonna do with these boys. You know, you cannot raise a boy to be a father, but this man is still present. that you decide to give birth to. My only end solution is once the boy reaches a certain age, mostly as before he touches teenage age, around 12 or 11 or 13,
Right.
by the time the boy touches 10 at best, it is now in your duty to give him to the father for the remainder years of his development. If you're going to be so-called doing the thing we call co-parenting, which I don't advocate because nowadays when it comes to us as folks, we don't co-parent good enough because that requires somebody to sacrifice and be on accords. And if you look at most of these relationships, when you hear the women talk, like they don't have no good relationship with the so-called baby father. Like they don't want nothing to do with them. But they sure as hell, depending on the relationship, how it ended, they're going to, make it harder from what I'm hearing. And you heard about this too, Mr. Sam. So my solution is, if it's going to be a bigger problem, just relinquish full custody of the boy. And then let the father deal with him, raise him. You get me?
Right.
So that's my only solution. And trust me, Mr. Sam, I've gotten constant pushback. And I came to the conclusion by other groups of men that got custody of their sons. And we have dialogues and streams on this back in 2019 and the good parts of 2020, early parts. So when I hear the issues, the complaints, and even go as far as the excuse, I say it don't take much for you as a woman that knows that this boy is going to be problematic as it gets older. You get me? I don't care what a good job you're doing, but the reason why you hold custody is not because you're getting this little feeble check, if you're getting child support check, but you want to get control of the minds of the boys. So that way, let's say you push your boys into things that will make them really rich, you're going that might possibly benefit in the long term.
Mm-hmm.
Get me? So it's holding custody of the boy because you might think there's going to be a reward at the end of the road if you control their minds good enough. And as we know how the community is operating, that's not the case for every black boy. Through their so-called data. And I'm not using the data because one thing with data today, Mr. Sam, we use it towards each other, but we're not really solving problems looking at this so-called European data. Even the data he presents to us that's either, let's say, is factual, even that you always got to have your eyebrows raised because they put out here information that we want to see because we know we're not going to use it to really better ourselves. We're going to use it as a weapon towards each other. And it's really a weapon nonetheless because the real data that's going out here in the West, in regards to what's happening economically and all that stuff, they got the real information. They just let you see the glimpse of it, but they're not showing the true numbers. You get me?
Because but Jerry, let me say this. Look, with media the way it is today, we can get the real information. I don't think we're just dependent on one monolithic source. There are myriads of sources. So I think we can get it and piece it together. And I was saying this last evening, and come up with what's known as the inference to the best explanation. So we can get the information. But I want to go ahead and give you my fastball. I don't know how much time you have. And
you go ahead. I got the lines lined up right now, so go ahead. You might as well give me the fastball. Right.
And it's this. Look, and I heard there's a popular guy who said this, but I said it before he said it. But it's to flip the script. And if women, I'm not into pressuring women for sex. No way, no how. All right. Or vice versa. But I do think this. If sex isn't on the table for most women, well then, I want to get your feedback, they should pay everything, first dates, whatever other dates, until they are ready to have sex. And then the man will start paying. So that's just flipping the script. and now you're laughing, but I want you to really consider this.
I'm listening.
They pay, they do the initiating, and they should be initiating anyway because that's a mature adult part of the responsibility. And dating is huge, Gary. Dating is huge because without dating, there's no progress toward a marriage or anything else. But nevertheless, coming back to the point, let's say sex is not on the table for a woman. Fine. Let her pay for everything until sex is on the table. What do you think about that, Gary?
Everything? You mean everything, even a coffee, a steak?
I want her to take the man's role since she wants to take, to take sex off the table. fine. That's what the man wants. And she wants to have sex too, but in this case, she wants to control the sex, so she takes sex off the table. Fine. She pay everything for everything on dates until she puts sex on the table, and then the man will start paying. Is that fair, Gary?
I mean, that sounds equal exchange, but the question you should ask, Mr. Sam, which woman in the West, in America, where we live, is willing to do that?
Let me respond to that this way, Gary.
Okay.
Nobody does anything. You know, it's often said the father of behavior are ideas. Okay, so if the software isn't there, in other words, if we don't apprise women that, yeah, we're going to go ahead and give you what you want. Yes, we're going to say, fine. Nobody's going to pressure you for sex. So in other words, Gary, I'm saying we have to speak the truth to life. Women have to know that if they want to keep sex off the table, which is what men want, well, then they fill in the role that the men are occupying. And that is the paying, the asking, the planning for the date. Let them now do everything, and nobody will pester them for sex. Is that fair, Gary?
I mean, it sounds fair. It sounds fair. I mean, it sounds like a great plan, but like I said before, Mr. Solution, who's willing to step up and take that task is another question.
Gary, we can start it right here because, as I just said to you, if women never hear, if women never hear the truth, they can't act upon it. And obviously things are at a stalemate the way it's going now, or men are being taken advantage of. I'm not saying that men are cheap, nothing like that, because I don't think men mind paying for a good woman. But if women are out here playing this game, see, they've ruined this first date thing because with a lot of women, according to this article, it's one and done. They have several men in their Excel spreadsheet that they're using to supplement their grocery bill. They're getting free dates. And some women are going out with guys. You know, guys are pretty easy. They're getting meals for their girlfriends and or they're getting doggy bags for their lunch at work the next day. What about that for taking advantage of a sucker?
It will bring an even playing field, nonetheless, Mr. Solutions. So, like I said, if you're able to go about that and have the results, kudos. I'm not going to knock what you're saying is wrong, because as a man, I deal with logic in the day, and since sex is off the table, then you have to subsidize something to keep the man's attention, correct?
That makes sense, Gary. It makes sense to me. I think you're on board.
All right. Stay on the line. Let me take the next caller. All right?
All right.
Okay, next caller. Who's this?
All right, what's going on, Gary?
All right, what's good? What's good?
All right. I'd heard the audio. I didn't know what was that about. I thought you had a lady that had her kids on the show. I kept hearing kids in the background, so I don't know what was going on there.
What time do you listen to the stream? No, at what time do you start listening to the stream?
I say about 11:30ish.
That was a clip by April Mason. But what do you have on the topic, Jay? Because the lines actually.
Things. So okay. I say first and foremost, I think that what's right now at this moment is what's missing is having a woman on here to have this discussion to kind of balance out the conversation, right? That's number one, first and foremost. But I want to go back to this whole thing with the dating and getting some and not getting some on a date. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't know anybody that I know really, maybe one or two, that ever really had a problem going out on a date with women and not connecting with her on a sexual level at some point. For the most part, I've never had any issues with a woman feeling that I done spent all this money if I did. And feeling like, damn, I ain't get nothing in return, I mean, it's basically a 50-50 gamble, if you want to say, or it's just like, the experience and you see where it goes. I don't think there's anything wrong with going on a first date and spending money. Whatever's in your budget. I'm not saying go spend your whole your rent check, or your car note. But if you got a few dollars, it doesn't really hurt for you to go on a date with a woman and see where it goes, even if it don't go nowhere that day. See how the conversation flows, and I think of it like, if you spending money anyway, but having the experience, going out to eat, maybe have a couple of drinks, if they, at that, spicing up the night, it's really like, it's a scratch off of, the most, like what we spend on a daily basis or dealing with other things and the toys that we like as men, and the type of activities we like to do. So I see it as something minor. That doesn't mean that you're going on 100 dates and you're still waiting to get something out of the woman. But, I mean, I think it's where you at mentally, where you at financially, and what kind of swag you have. If the woman, look, women, they want the same things that we do, right? And if a woman is really digging you, she don't care about how much money you spending if she want to connect with you. But if you acting cheap, she probably ain't going to give you none. So you might be spending on 5, 6, 7, 8 dates and might not even get nothing. But I'm saying that if she's feeling you, again, and the chemistry's right, all that shit, it goes out the window about what you spending and how much you spending. Like I said, it's one thing to go overboard and spend your bill money or things that you need to take care of, priorities first. But, you only live once, man. That's how I look at it. But get some women on here, man. If you have some other guests, I think. Well, I have
people raising their hand right now.
All right, I'll sit back, brother. But good show. I got a gist of it, a piece of it. Go ahead.
Okay, good. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate that. Let me see what else is on the line. All right, caller, open your line. Who's this? Hello.
Yo, what's going on, Big Will?
Okay, Big Will. Hold on a second. Yeah, matter of fact, what's on your mind, Big Will? Have you listened to any portion of the show?
I've been on a little over like 47 minutes right now.
Oh, damn. So you only hear only little clips and a few callers. All right, what's on your mind? Because I have other people raise their hands, so tell me what's on your mind on your subject.
So naturally, as men, we are the hunters. You want to say that, for lack of better words. We like to seek what we can get, go out and get what we can get, right? So, having said that, if I initiate the conversation of pursuing a young lady to go on a date, I should pay. If a woman initiates it, I feel like she should pay. But here's the thing, though, Gary. Since I'm pretty sure everybody here in the 60s or below, 60 to 30, in the 30s, mid-30s or the 60s, right? So we were introduced to this little gadget that man made called a television. And the television showed us all kind of things. Case in point, the man paying for dinner, the man taking the woman out to this, that, or whatever, paying for this, that, or whatever. That is what we conditioned and grown to believe we should do as men. So if women were conditioned and grown by watching those TV shows, those movies or whatever, that men should do this, that, or whatever. Do I agree with it? Yes and no. Like I said, I feel like whoever initiates the conversation or initiates, hey, let's go out and do this, that, or whatever. Okay, have I paid for dates? Yes. Was I looking for sex afterwards? No. I look for conversation, a good time to learn the person if they're a suitable candidate to be my woman. Apparently I got a child. I'm engaged, so hey, it is what it is. Have I had women ever pay for asking me out? Quite a few. And believe it or not, a few of them actually paid for the dinner. Did I look for sex afterwards? No, we just looking for conversation. Actually, one of them was just a friend, a lady friend. But that's neither here nor there. But like I said, I feel like whoever initiates the conversation or initiates the asking of, hey, let's hang out, let's do this, let's do that, that should be their thing. Or unless they put it in have a verbal agreement, hey, let's go Dutch. Let's just hang out. You pay for yours, I pay for mine. That's just how I feel.
Okay.
And also, women, and believe it or not, if your shit on point, you got style about yourself, or you appealing to that woman for whatever reason it may be, the way you dress, the way you look, or whatever the case may be, women are choosing these days. As a matter of fact, here it is, October. It's fall time. It's what we like to call cuffing season. Some of these single ladies will be initiating the conversation, oh, let's hang out, let's do this, let's do that. Because, like I said before, we were groomed and conditioned by the television, by Hollywood, or like some people like to say, Hollyweird. So they want to be booed up in the wintertime, laid up in the bed, watching movies, drinking a hot chocolate, beef stew, or whatever the case may be. So women are choosing. And I don't see why. Yeah, that's it, man. Go ahead.
Okay. I like your input, Big OC. I mean, Big Will. It's been a long time since I heard from you, but it's good hearing your voice again, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate
you, homie.
All right. Next caller. Call up in line. Who's this?
Oh, Miss Lady. I didn't listen to that lady earlier. It was hard to understand her, and there was a lot of noise in the background.
How long you been listening to the stream?
I think Mr. Solutions was talking about how he thought women should pay for dates until their sex. That's
now, you know, Miss Lady, I'm be honest with you. Talk, because I have other people on the line, but go ahead.
And when you were talking about boys, when they get to be, I think, 10 years old, they should live with their fathers.
Yeah, I did mention that. During the clips here and there for April Mason's reason why she stopped dealing with women in regards matchmaking, etc. That's the real premise of the show besides the title at hand. Which, she did
I don't understand. She was a matchmaker?
Yes, for women.
Oh. Well, yeah, there are some matchmakers. And there's different categories of matchmakers, too. So there's matchmakers for the very wealthy, right? And, there's certain characteristics people are looking for. And then, there's all different categories of matchmaking. Different ethnic groups have matchmaking as well. So there's a range, then all the way down to, you get on, I guess is a Match.com still around, or Tinder or whatever, and you just hook up, people hook up through that way. There have been some successful marriages through those sites. I don't know what the percentage is, though. I think it's kind of low. But I've known two people that met their spouses through those sites, and they're very happy with them, with each other. But, yeah, I just think in terms of boys, they do need a strong male influence, guidance, support, nurturing, and love, direction. So you have to have the right man to provide that for any boy. So I wouldn't just say a blanket, just send him to the father, because what if the father's a very poor character, impoverished, don't have any direction himself, who's a misogynist, who's an extreme narcissist, who's a psychopath, who has a long criminal record. You don't want to send anybody to live with that type of person. And who's not trying to improve their lives, actively working.
It's interesting you mentioned about the criminal element of, I guess, the father's in the streets, which I'm hearing, right?
I mean, I mentioned a lot of things. I just gave an example. I mean, people could have committed crimes, and they've turned their lives around. And I met some very good men. The light bulb came on. They decided they're going a different direction. It's harder now because they're older men, but they did, and they own their own businesses. They, like that chef that was profiled. He's written some books. Who was in prison, I forget how many years, but he became a big, well-known name up in Las Vegas at a casino running the restaurant there. He's actually wealthy. He's written books. He's been interviewed on TV. This was some years ago, a black guy. So, I mean, people have gone and they've gotten married and turned their lives around, been great husbands and fathers. And they can teach their children what not to do, okay, as well as what to do. So it all depends on the individual. That's what I come down to. I'm not going to say a blanket statement. Send the boys to their fathers. No. It has to be, he has to be in the right mindset. And, if he's a negative man, that's what he's going to impart to his son, a bunch of negativity, and his son's going to have a negative life. And people he interacts with are going to have negative experiences. So
let me ask a question, Miss Lady. So the mother is negative. Would it be better that the boy stays with the mother with the same mindset?
Well, this is the thing. Negative in what kind of way? Because if you look at the statistics, black women have a much smaller percentage of being found to be criminals and being put in prison. There's a much lower percentage in terms of really.
I'm not talking about criminality, Miss Lady. And there are some women that have engaged criminality, but they won't get caught locked up in big time than men because prison is designed for men, not for women, not for women. So when I say negativity, I'm applying the same to women too.
What's a negative woman in your mind? Because I've given examples. No,
you give negativity in regards to criminality and men. And I'm gonna say this personally. If the Miss Lady, relax. Let me get out. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you have it. Relax. I'm saying negativity and men. If the man that you're dealing with, where you're dating, wherever, and he is of the criminal element, and it don't take too much. It is very simple nowadays with the way things are now, that it would make sense that you go as far as carrying what we call the greatest prize, a legacy to this so-called set man, regardless if he has money. If he's shown that he is negative mind and he is criminal, that wouldn't be wise to bring forth fruit life with it.
That's or get knocked up.
I'm just keeping it real. So me saying this is that what I said earlier, it disavows say that it's fine, but there are a whole lot of men out here that have negative minds. So it would be better that this boy stays with me from 0 to 18 years of age. And I'm saying
no, everything has to be individualized. It depends on who the people are. If the mother's a mess, if she's on drugs, if she's very negative and harmful and verbally, emotionally abusive, and the man is not, then any child, boy or girl, should live with the father. He's a decent man, he's working, and he loves his children and doing the best to provide for him. That's just, every situation is different. It makes no sense.
So we should be saying that than the otherwise. Because let's be honest, Miss Lee, there are a lot of children, either by choice, they've been under mother for a good long time, for decades now, and we see the community outcome that exists. And I hear the complaints from women. I hear the complaints of the women. So I say, like,
fathers. It's the absence of fathers who are providing and protecting and guiding. That is the problem.
So I say this.
I'm going to tell you something. When you have leadership in men, it starts with leadership.
Hold on. Before we can't go back and forth, Miss Lee. We both talking. It's hard for people to hear the playback. I'm saying, okay. That's what I'm saying. I bring forth solution and say, okay, maybe it's time, regardless of the situation of the man, if he's still present in life, which most of them are, it would make sense for the remaining few years of the boy's life. Now, I'm not talking about the girls, because the girls, that's a little different situation. I'm going to leave that alone for now with the girls. Now, I think most dudes, depending on the relationship with them, the daughter should have enough access to their fathers if he's present. I believe in that. But we're not going to talk about the girls. We're going to talk about the boys, because the boys are the ones that have the issue, because they're going to be the adults, and they potentially might bring in the same problems to the community that a lot of people complain about. So, like always, I deal with a simple solution. If the man's present and you and him don't have a good relationship, just send the boy to the father for the remainder 8 or 9 years of his development, because he has to see the present man, the good and the bad. He's going to learn and appreciate it. They're not being around a man at all, besides his uncles and his grandparents, which now, if you look at the present now, grandparents, it's kind of shaped differently now. It's totally different from how you grew up and how anybody else grew up if they're Gen Xers. So, let me see. You're not on the line. I'm probably, if you call back, I might pick up. But let me open the last 2 lines. All right, caller. Who's this?
Let me ask this question here.
Wait, who's this? Who's this? You got to say your name.
Oh, the person you were trash talking on Old Boy's channel.
Who is this?
You know who this is.
Who's it, Big J? That you?
Yeah. Yes,
right.
yes. The person you were trash talking on Grandmaster Troll's channel. Now, anyway.
Are you going to talk about the subject, Big J? Because this is not...
Oh, yeah, yes, I am. But what are you scared of?
Thank you. Because I'm not going to go back and forth with nonsense. This is a subject. We're going to try to be respectful of the show, at least. Can you do that?
No. Okay. I will respect the show until you start respecting me, bitch.
Listen, are you going to answer the question or not? Are you going to present anything tangible?
No, I mean you can comment. I make a comment.
You arguing right now, and you're not getting away with this, Big J. Argue me about something about
you put my name in your fucking ass mouth. You put my name in your fucking ass mouth, bitch.
You ain't special. Now, are you going to?
No, you ain't special. You like you don't got yourself, nigga.
Or not? Yes or no?
I got a comment to Mr. Solutions. Man, I'm tell you something, Mr. Solutions, real talk. It seems that you and others who always talk about sex and relationships, y'all act like the women are supposed to just give you the pussy, give you the box right out the gate. That's why I find it mighty odd.
How long have you listened to the stream before we move forward?
I've been on here for ever since an hour or so.
You know the show started 2 hours ago, right? You know that, right, Big J?
Yeah, but I've been on when you was I was on and off, Gary.
All right. I'm gonna let you continue. Go ahead. I'm not gonna stop.
It seems though some of y'all just only view women a lot of y'all don't view women as humans. A lot of y'all sit there don't give women their humanity. They have a choice for that matter. They have the right to close their legs. And I find it funny that some of you Negroes who call yourself conservatives will sit there and be anti-abortion and anti-choice, but at the same time you want a woman to give up the box on the first date. Wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. You're supposed to be teaching about family values. See, the hypocrisy of some of you Negroes who would just call in, y'all made no damn sense. And that's a real talk and that's a real truth, though. Well, let me keep that moving. See, and I'm going to say something, too, about black social media. Y'all are so hung up on relationships and sex. As if nothing else is going on and you wonder why, though, your ass is always behind on shit. I'm just saying, and Big Will, shout out to you, Big Will. Let me say this to Mr. Solutions. I'm going to say another damn thing to Mr. Solutions. Mr. Solutions, we live in the 21st century now. That the year, what you want and what ABC want and what Sarge want and what everybody else want, y'all are behind. Y'all talk about y'all longing for a gone by era. The internet the computer, the phone has changed relationships. Same way as back in the 1880s, how the second industrial revolution changed the family dynamic. The nuclear family was created by the 1880s when industrialization kicked back up during the Gilded Age. So I don't want to hear people talking about the mama and the babies and the kids. Well, sir, if you go before that, a lot of them men, a lot of those presidents didn't have men in their lives. Ask Abraham Lincoln. Ask Andrew Jackson. Ask Andrew Johnson. Ask any of these presidents that, because y'all love to do this, you ain't got no daddy in the house. Well then, y'all need to put things in proper context rather than trying to force your will, your soliloquies on everybody else. The world has changed. It's no longer 1945. Get over it. I'm done.
Big J, stay right there. Let me see if this guy's the one that called in. Hold on a second. Hello? Who's this?
Yeah, I heard Big J on his tirade. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
And what he did, as usual, he was listening with half a damn ear. And you could have vouched for what I said. I never said that a woman should, quote unquote, give up the box on a first date. That's a damn lie. I did not say that. I don't say that. I don't even believe that. See, if you have the integrity, at least keep the argument consistent. I simply said men date because they want to have sex. And to link sex with having a baby is bullshit, because people have sex all the time, responsible sex, and don't produce a baby. So they don't necessarily go together. So my point was, if a woman, as a rule, doesn't want to have sex, then she pay and take care of everything until she's comfortable having sex. So what I'm saying is, we could go out for 6 months, and she can pay. You don't have to have sex. So don't lie and don't misrepresent what's stated. At least if you're going to argue what's stated and not the straw man that you create.
Really? Well, tell me something, Mr. Solutions. Tell me something, Mr. Solutions. How can you say what you said? You're saying that a man shouldn't
how
say.
How are you, Big Jake? First of all, yeah, I would love to have the conversation with you. How are you? Let's go at it. I don't mind having the conversation with you.
Okay, good. I'd rather have a worthy opponent than somebody who like to be sneaky, like Mr. Gary right there. Go ahead.
Well, no, you go ahead. I've already stated what I said. See, you misrepresented me. And see, Big Jake, I told you about this last time, okay, and you seem to have understood it. You tend to be pissed off, and you link every goddamn body together. You need to understand how to separate people.
Because there's a common mentality and a common ideology that's in together.
Shit. Those other guys aren't even speaking about the subject. Now, I'm going to tell you the subject again, and I know you have good cognition, all right? What I said was, and this was sticking with the title of Gary's comment, respecting his platform. Gary was talking about sex being on the table. And I simply said, if women don't want sex on the table, or whichever woman doesn't, then she pay until she's comfortable with having sex. She already liked the guy. Now, I would go ahead and say this, too. If a woman doesn't like a guy, she shouldn't go out with him. If she's not willing to have sex with him, she shouldn't go out with him. And I also referenced the article that was entered into the American Psychological Association that said a third of American women, I believe it's a lot higher, but it documented a third of American women only go out with men for the meal. They're not interested in the man whatsoever. And this is not just based on some anecdotal evidence. You know, people can come in and be an isolated incident and say, well, I've never had any trouble with women. That doesn't mean a goddamn thing. We're talking about a broad perspective. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was looking at a fine piece of chocolate on my YouTube feed. I'm sorry. What was that again, though?
Well, Gary, it was very simple. Okay, Gary's topic is sex on the table. And I was saying if a woman feels uncomfortable with that on the first, second, third, fourth, or fifth date, fine. No sex on the table, she pay. Fine.
Shouldn't men try to get women to, shouldn't men try to gain their trust?
Well, okay, what do you mean by that? Give me an example of what you mean.
My God. Do you believe men should gain the trust of women?
I believe trust should be earned on both sides.
No. Answer the question. Should men try to gain the respect of women?
Listen, Big Jake, if you're meeting a person that you don't know, a stranger, not a family member, both people have to gain each other's trust.
We're not talking about family member. We're not talking about family member. I'm saying
that's what I said. If we're not talking about family members, both people need to.
Wait, put a family in. I'm going to say this one more again.
I'm saying
I'm going to say this one more again. Do women...
No, you don't have to do shit one more again. I'm saying to you, both people have to gain each other's trust.
No, we ain't talking about on the female side yet. We're not talking about what's on the female. We're talking about on the men's side first. Should men...
Jake. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you. You finally said it. Yes. It's like pulling teeth out your ass.
Goddamn thing. Have you ever been on a teeter-totter? You have to have a balance.
Good. Men, if you want to gain trust of a woman, you have to show that you are a quote-unquote provider. We know some of you conservatives like ABCU and SARS want to talk about protect and provide. Well, wait a minute. Isn't that
wait a minute. That's a provider when she's my woman. Shit. She belongs to the goddamn street before she's my woman.
Let me finish.
So until she's my woman, I'm not her provider.
Why you upset? Why you upset, sir? Why are you upset, sir?
Upset. You just keep muttering, so
but you cut me off in the middle of the sentence.
Go ahead. I was just speaking so you could hear me, and you were cutting me off, but go ahead.
No, you was cutting me off. Now, anyway.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, but in order to gain trust for a woman, you have to show though you provide. So if I'm paying for a date and I'm not going to expect sex out of it, then you ain't supposed to expect sex out the first date because you're just trying to prove to her that you can provide for her ass.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and agree with you. For the sake of the argument, I'm going to go ahead and agree with you. Hold on. I heard you. Now, allow me to speak.
Are you willing to concede that?
Allow me to speak. I heard you.
Okay, then, therefore, that make your earlier comment mute.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make it mute. You mean mute?
Women want safety. Hold on, women need. Women are the quote unquote the fair sex.
Hold on a second. Can you hear me?
Sure, go ahead.
Let me say this. I put my cash up in the chat room. If I don't see it ring in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to end both this conversation. Because I'm already past the time on the show. And wait, let me do this. Before we continue, it better ring on something. I'm just saying this personally right now. Because I'm looking at time, and I'm not going to stay longer on the stream. So if y'all want to hear this, I'm gonna wait to a couple minutes. I'm gonna let y'all talk, but the minute this clock does not ring in 2-3 minutes or something, I'm cutting it off. So I'm gonna let you guys have it.
Big Jake, I just have one question, and I'm not disagreeing with you because I'm an agreeable person. Did you hear me?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. All I would ask that you do, Big Jake, is factor in that report that said a third of women who fit what's called the dark triad, that they only go out with men for the meal.
Yeah, I know that. It happened to me.
So should a man just be a sucker?
No, you chalk that up to the game.
Well, wait a minute. How does he? Well, I don't know what the shit that means, but how does he not be a sucker? Not Gary, but Big Jake. How does a man not be a sucker when he knows that women are going out to take him for being a sucker? How does a man not be a sucker?
Well, I'll tell you what.
No. Don't tell me shit. Answer my question. How does a man, per that article that you say you're familiar with, not get taken advantage of?
Well, give me an intelligent response. I'll finish. I was going to answer for you. Well,
okay, go ahead.
I would say like this. In order not to be a sucker, don't do it. First of all, you don't do it again. Second of all, stop looking at her as sex for not anything but stop looking at her as a sex object, because that's a lot of these Negroes' problems. And
okay,
third,
what do you mean by not doing it again?
Hold on.
No. Before you go on, I need to understand what you're saying. What do you mean by not do it again? What does that mean?
Well, like if what happened to me back in 2003. Well, let me say it like this. No. What happened to me when I was in my early 20s? Listen, you don't sit there and allow her to don't allow no other woman to do it to you. Learn from your past mistakes. That's what I'm saying. The first time, don't.
How do you do that? How does a man do that? You say the first woman did it. How does he prevent the second woman from doing it?
That was going to my number 3 before you interrupt me. Here's number 3.
Sorry, go ahead.
Have a conversation with her. A long conversation before you sit there and date. Know what she is about first. See, a lot of guys just sit there, see some nice titties, some nice ass, them lustrous hips. Lord, I love them hips. But anyway, instead of be worried about those parts, you should be worried about what's in her head first. Get up inside her head. See, a lot of men, a lot of women to get up in their head. That you need to get stuff in her head and make her make her give more of herself to you.
So in other words, you have no problem. You're talking about establishing trust, right? Establishing trust on her part.
Yeah.
All right, so you have no problem with going to a coffee shop or sitting on a park bench through conversation.
I have no problem.
You are talking about having an adult conversation,
I have no problem with that. Huh?
You are talking about having...
Because I remember back on...
Okay. I passed the 3-minute mark, and no one has hit the donation to the stream. So, Mr. Solution there?
Yeah.
I would mind y'all going back and forth, but like I said, I told people, and people feel it's irrelevant, so I have to stop it there.
Okay, thank you, Gary. I think Big Jake and I agree, so I don't know, just let him know that if you can, or I don't know if he hears me.
He heard you. He heard you. He gave you
right. In other words, we're in agreement. See, Big Jake just likes to fight for the sake of fighting.
I mean, well, Big J is going to be Big J at the end of the day. You can't control him, so, he's going to be what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I would say this before you jump off, Ms. Solution, that always a conversation and a phone conversation will go a long way before investing any money. I learned this from Kansu. And he said that because men has the only thing you have at the end of the day is your time. A lot of people will waste your time, brother. Women will waste your time just to get something and don't provide enough in return. I hope you're aware of that, right?
Oh, yeah, sure. And I agree with you. I think having a phone conversation...
So like I said... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're right. Having a phone conversation is a great way to at least get a preliminary knowledge of a person. Go on.
Yeah, and the reason why I say is because at the end of the day, who wouldn't mind spending some money here on a woman that is their woman? I agree with that. But because the society we live in now, as a man, you're going to get played, and you're going to get played more if not careful. So the solution is say you don't get caught up again. The only way you're going to do that is have the conversation from the get-go and don't even spend no money at all. You get me?
Absolutely. But see, the only thing is, Gary, Big Jake was coming saying, well, you don't let that happen again. And see, that makes no sense because we already know that a third of women at minimum are out there to take advantage of men. And so I agree with you. But see, Big Jake was just arguing. That's all he was doing. He just likes to argue. But, no, I hear you. Look, I appreciate your show very... Oh, one other thing, Gary. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Gary, look, I would have loved to have spoken with that guy that you had on. I listened to the whole show dealing with God, the atheist guy.
Oh, yeah, you should have caught it.
Yeah, well, let me just tell you, Gary, look, he was acting as if he had some information. Everything he was saying was elementary. There's the fine-tuning of the universe, the origin of the universe, the origin of life, and the origin of human life. What you call moral duties and responsibilities, none of that is explained by evolution. None. And so there are good arguments for God, very good arguments, as an agent creator. And I'll just tell you this. I was going to look that guy up. Mr. Black, I believe his name was, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Sarge did a pretty good job, but Sarge is great. But I wanted to bring more of the theological, philosophical perspective on board. And I just gave you 5 fantastic arguments for God, not to mention free will and consciousness. Scientists have no idea where consciousness came from. And you can't get outside of consciousness to study it because everything we deal with has to flow through our consciousness. So for this guy to stand up and say, God doesn't exist, that's foolish. But if you have him on again, I'll be listening. I usually listen to your shows.
Don't worry. I got you. Let me open this one last line.
Okay.
Who's this?
Hey, Gary, very interesting show, man. You haven't done these do these things on Sunday night.
Yeah. How long you been listening to the stream, Sarge? Because I don't want no dialogue right now. I want to conclude the stream. I was open the line to see who this is. I just want to,
Oh, wait a minute. Are you saying that we're holding everything in abeyance until you end the show?
No, because I'm already pushing a certain amount of hours. I've been on it for a while now. So this is not like the late after hour. This is a show. The title Sex on the Table. So unless you have something, if you've been listening to the stream, to April Mason, matchmaker, a dating coach for women, if you listen to some part of that stream and you want to give your input, I would appreciate it. If not, you could probably give
Well, it does have to do with sex being on or off the table, I'd imagine.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Say
but it was really prompted as much by the interchange between Mr. Solutions and Big J as it was that. It's actually a mixture of both. Sex on the table and the corollary of sex being off the table.
Okay. I get that. Yeah, man. So like I said, this was a pretty fair stream. Decent stream. A lot of people start to call in. And I find it interesting when I talk about women, relationship, sex, a lot of people come around miraculously, for this. But anything else, it's crickets. And
as long as it ain't gossip, I love these kind of conversations because they deal with the most elemental side of human nature and human relationships. That is the desire to meet a significant other and, assuming everything goes well, to procreate and carry yourself into and create posterity for yourself and your genetic legacy. It's a big deal. It ain't a little deal. That's why we make such a big deal out of it.
I see. I say, yeah, man, you got to do every possible meal to hopefully pass on your genetics, possible, Just know the environment, where you stand, and, try to flourish as best as possible, And
but then
like
again,
I said,
the reason we have these things about sex on the table, off the table, is because, again, men and women have evolved different reproductive strategies. And those reproductive strategies often come into conflict with culture, civilization, custom, tribe, etc., etc., etc. So all of it's very complex because human beings are so damn complex. And trying to sort it out is part of what makes us people and human. And, of course, it's always worth a discussion.
Yes, it's always going to be. And it's going to be an ongoing discussion as long as we're still around. That's how I see it. But thank you, Sarge, for coming up, giving your take.
Sure thing. I'll just wait till the after hours and see how these conversations can go.
Well, it's going to get crazy in the next...
It always gets crazy. Expect it. T.R.S.
Yep. All right, thank you. Okay, there was I didn't get to the 60-minute mark on this. Matter of fact, let me run the last 5 minutes of this audio, and then I will wrap this up for those that's listening. So listen good, people.
I hate I missed your Academy deadline. I know a lot of you said, you missed the deadline. The All Things Feminine app is amazing. Last month's challenge opened me up. I'm glad it did, because I want to challenge you. I like to make you uncomfortable, honey. So our challenges are made to make you uncomfortable and to expose you, to get you being okay with being a woman, everything that comes with the woman. People have a problem. They don't have a problem when I'm talking about femininity as a whole. I mean, well, kind of not a whole, but more from the business aspect, being a feminine woman in your life, being a feminine woman with your children and dating. But God forbid I talk about being a feminine woman from a sensual and seductive place, because that's femininity too. Y'all don't like to see that. Oh, God forbid you see me put on some lingerie, even though when it's done, it's always done tastefully and with class. But we don't need to see that. It's like that's a part of your feminine energy too. Now you don't realize that's the part that the men are your feminine energy, but also the part of the feminine sexual energy. How y'all figure y'all want these men and y'all don't want to be prepared from a sensual, intimate standpoint when you got to be sensual and intimate with yourself first? How do you figure that? I said, you responded to my remark on Facebook yesterday. I almost lost it. Don't be losing it, girl. So, y'all, it's like every time I talk about being sexy, or y'all say, oh, my God, see, look at her. She got grandkids and she got a stripper pole in her bedroom. Yeah, they're my grandkids. They don't live with me. I don't censor my home for my grandbabies. And there's nothing wrong with that, I trademarked feminine seduction, all right? Anything feminine, pretty much, Ms. Mason done trademarked it. And that's because I understand this. I understand the importance of this side of the woman. It's like a lot of y'all are out here having sex, but you're not connected from a sensual standpoint, and you wonder why you can't connect with a man on an intimate level, because you're not even being intimate with yourself, and I'm not talking about anything sexual. So how you going to be intimate sexually with a man, and you're not intimate into you see, with yourself? How? I said, what kind of foundation? I don't have on no foundation. Pay attention to the lesson. I don't have on no makeup today. well, I have a little mascara and a little lip gloss. But no, I don't have no, I can't tell you the name of the foundation because it's called Skin. But those are the areas, the very thing that women try to sell men on. I got tantrics and I know what to do in the bed. I know how to put it down in the bedroom. You know how to do a sexual act in the bedroom. You don't know how to put it down in the bedroom, because if you put it down in the bedroom, you will be connecting to his soul in the bedroom. You will become his oxygen. Okay? You would know how to reach down to the recesses of his mind and his imagination. If you was putting it down in the bedroom, you wouldn't know how to talk to. Never mind. I ain't gonna go. That's a little bit too much right there. I'm not fitting to go there. Okay. I love when your mom says that. What I say? No, I say it. You should be able to talk the cum right up out of him without touching him. But y'all don't know how to do that because you're not comfortable in your skin and in your own sensuality. I'm just saying. When I was coaching, I used to have to teach my married ladies this all the time. Y'all ain't ready. That's nighttime talk. It's still in the afternoon, so I can't go there. I can't go there. You should be able to talk to come right out of him from across the room without even touching him, not even allowing him to touch you. Can you do that? No, because
that's some weird tantra stuff. You think about talk the come out of him. I don't know about all that, but that's some new shit. But you know how some women are nowadays. When they're very full of herself, like Miss Mason. I guess she said she got like that. I don't know if some dudes will say, she taught the orgasm on me. I mean, damn. I don't know about that. That's new shit. But let's keep listening.
You are not comfortable in your own sensuality. Okay? Somebody said, I'm getting a course now. See, I had to mention something sexy, huh? See how y'all do me? They ask what's the name of the foundation. Normally, you respond with 1975. No, when they ask me the name of the mascara, I respond with 1975. But the foundation, I don't know. Ain't nothing on my hand. Maybe my face a little oily, bro. But yeah, I'm gonna need that tutorial. Oh goodness, it's nighttime somewhere. I'm not talking. I'm not getting into that talk. Who knows? I might come back during the evening and have that talk. So when they start asking you why, where the man at? When you know all of this kind of stuff and you carry this kind of weight, you don't just want to give that to anybody. You want the best candidate for you. Somebody said, dang, what I tuned into. I just want to become more feminine. Go join my app, All Things Feminine Social Club. The investment is $14.99 per month right now. It will be going up to $24 or $29.99 because I drop value in there. And if you don't want to invest $30 in yourself to learn how to be more of a feminine woman and be more of a sensual woman, right? And be more of a woman that floats when she walks. And be a woman that everybody in the room wants to know who is she and they're waiting on you, then you don't want it bad enough. So y'all talking about come back to y'all want me to talk sex tonight. We might be able to talk some sex tonight. I don't know, depending on how I feel. Because that is a part of it. A lot of y'all know how to just lay there. Or do you think just because you've learned how to have sex that you know how to make love? And making love starts in his mind first. Somebody said she's teaching now. She got y'all locked with just that sentence. I see.
And that will wrap up this session of today's stream. I might do something special on this stream. We'll see. But in wrapping up in the conclusion part of this, sex is on the table. Meaning that April Mason, or like most women, they have concluded, the ones that's been teaching dating or dating coach for women, they have concluded that most women are too full of themselves and they want perfection. And in an imperfect world, there's no such thing as perfection. But when it comes to the sisters, they need it and want it all. And the only thing they provide is what you see in front of you, the table. When they say what you bring to the table and all that, what answer you think the lady's going to give you, fellas? Sex. I bring vagina on the table. Accept it. That's the reality. Now, if you as man, you expect more, then you're going to have to do your search very thoroughly and learn up front. Because vagina is nice. It's a nice meal on the table, but it's not enough. And as you know, ladies, as time progresses, as a man moves on with himself and whatever he's trying to accomplish, you'll probably need to do a little bit more than that. But if you don't understand what men want and you're selfish, you get the same results. Pretty much nothing. So if you bring vagina on the table, aka sex, then some of the dudes that you might deal with on the average is going to bring phallus, penis. It's an even exchange at the end of the day if you think about it. But well, I know. I digress. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for listening to tonight's stream. If you're new to the channel, our Chaos Rain channel, please subscribe to the channel, hit the red button, hit the top bell for all live streams and uploads. Also, follow me on Twitter at ChaosRain7, and you can now follow me on Facebook, Eric Ray on Facebook. Oh, and another thing, I'd like to thank everybody that called in, from Mr. Solutions to Big J to Miss Lady to Sarge, and the one and only the Big J with 3X, you know, the MGTOW himself, the man that's going his own way himself. I appreciate you call, brother, you know what I'm saying? And we'll have more conversation on that. You get me? No, everybody don't really know you much, BJ, and it is what it is. But at least you keep this YouTube interesting nonetheless. But like I said, you know, you're one man, so, you know, I can't argue and complain. The known saying that, you know, to a lot of dudes that either talk about you from Reg or anybody, they probably right about you. But, you know, like I said, I have a certain, not distaste, respect, but, you know, you come anyway because you contribute nonetheless to something, because it's better to have you contribute to this channel than nothing else. So I got to respect you on that. So thank you for calling. And to all those that listen, be on the lookout for the next live stream. Until next time, take care and good night. Thank you for listening to another wonderful broadcast here on the Chaos Rain channel. And like always, comment, subscribe, and like this video. You can follow me at Twitter at ChaosRain7 and follow me now or add me.
See? Y'all say great investment. Hey, girl. Hey, Laurel. Now, I need Laurel to come on. I mean, my girlfriend to come on with me. We've known each other since high school. Yeah, I knew her behind talking about some sex. We can talk about when we get together. We can talk about some sex, all right? Y'all don't know how to create the illusions, the environment. Like, it's just, I'm here, I'm naked. And a lot of you show way too much skin, and then you leave nothing to the imagination. Now, I'm a cleavage girl, but if I show cleavage, I'm definitely not showing leg. If I show leg, I'm definitely not showing cleavage. See, men would prefer to undress you with their eyes, not from the standpoint of the articles of clothes they're taking off you. They see everything else. Ain't no fun in that. Fellas, let me know. Let me know, fellas, in the chat. Y'all say I'm speaking that talk? But sex shouldn't take up much of the day, according to you. If you got to go to work, then that's on you. Person like me, sex can take up all the day because I have my money working for me. So it all depends. It all depends. You know, when you are the CEO of what you do and you have people working for you, you can have sex all day, every day. And you can do what you want to do. If it don't take all day, it may not. Sometimes it take all day, sometimes it don't. So it all depends. It all depends where you at, honey. Oh, and I got to get my girl Spirit. We're going to have to do it because she does the sex products, honey. And I actually bought a course because I am becoming a sexologist. Did I tell y'all that? And I'm finally freeing up my schedule now with doing all the stuff that I was doing to be able to take the course, so I'll be able to teach that, because I like the whole intimacy of it all. It's not necessarily the act, it's the intimacy, it's the role playing, it's the, excuse me, Mr. Officer, are you gonna arrest me? I've been a naughty, naughty girl. Laurel, oh, Lord, you are on fire. It's a wrap. Who texted me? Lorel, we gonna have to come to the house, girl. We're gonna have to get some drinks. You know, I got all that Bel Air wine from the event I did, at Ross's event. We're gonna have to sit down with all this Bel Air wine, honey, and have some conversation. You did tell us about being a sexologist. Yes, and I bought the course last year, but I had all of this other stuff going on. It wasn't time. So now that I'm freeing up my schedule, I'm thinking of, taking some vacations, like maybe, 3-4 weeks at a time. It gives me, time to do all of this. But I like this part of it. I like the sexy part. I mean, I've had to teach so many women about, especially my rigid ladies. God forbid, when you start asking them about a blowjob, they lose their mind. But that's late night talk. And plus, I'm at the pumpkin patch picking flowers. There's a bunch of cheering around. Y'all ain't gonna have me banned from all of my little favorite places. Oh my goodness. Yes. It all starts in the mind. Yeah, yes, it's one of my favorite conversations too, Miss Phillips. Yeah, they be so rigid. I don't know if I could do that, but whatever you want to do, somebody else will. But a lot of times, it's not even about what you want to do with somebody else will. It's more of you haven't become okay with yourself. Okay, that's normally what it is. And you have not explored the intimate parts of you. And I'm not talking about anything sexual. I'm talking about the intimate parts of who you are. Yes, they are great when you're liberated. Y'all say, call y'all back tonight. I think about it. I think about if I'm going to call y'all back tonight. I would have to feel it. Now, if I come back tonight, what y'all want me to talk about? Somebody said, I've talked to, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I want mention you don't follow the common zodiac. What is the name of the zodiac? Oh, I don't follow. Yeah, I follow sidereal zodiac is what I follow. And my girl, raw vegan. Are you in here, babes? Let me see if I can tag her. There she is. I just tagged her. Talk about being versus doing. No, that's something in my app I teach. I'll teach that in the app. Being a feminine woman who is already married for tonight. I'm not sure what you want me to teach. Because everything I teach, it doesn't matter your relationship status. Because a lot of times women think because I'm married, I don't know, I already know, but because I've already got the man. But that goes back to what I teach you. That your femininity is not for him, it's for you first. Talk about sex today. The art of seduction. Ooh, I like that. Do you have a Facebook group as well? I do. We got about 10,000 people in it, but I closed it. Emotional broken, I should say, who's in their 40s. I have a video for that. You can go to April on Demand and rent that. How to stay out of masculine energy. Join the app for that. I'm looking over to my right. Maybe y'all left because I'm on my other phone because I can't see y'all comments over here. Keep talking to them. Keep talking to them. Keep talking that ish. April After Dark. When is your first official podcast dropping? I don't know yet. We're working on all of that stuff. We had to clear the slate first. The art of seduction. Maybe. Depends on how I feel about what it is. Because everybody thinks seduction is such a bad thing. And we're seducing people all the time. And it's just not always in a sexual way. Teach how not to be aggressive in your approach. That's in the app. A lot of these things are in the app. Oh, role playing. Now I can talk about that. The art of role playing. What you say, Laurel? Should I talk about role playing? Yes, if you're 18, you should join the app. Absolutely, get you early. I prefer you early. I prefer you younger, because I don't have to go through all of the chiseling. Okay, is seduction in the app? No, seduction isn't in the app. We've done exercises about seduction. You have to join the app. You have to join the app and check out our challenges that we've had. But you say maybe I should talk about role playing tonight? What's included in the app? Go to your app store and all of the perks are listed right there. How to dominate a room without being loud. Confidence. Yes, Laurel said we need more topics, people. They want to see. You see how y'all get excited when you talking about some sex, honey? Erica said, join the app. You will love it. If you love what I give here, you will love what's in the app. Yes, that was the August challenge. Explore the dark side of BDSM. Oh, that's a good one. What say you, Laurel? Talk about seduction. No, let me ask you this. Why do y'all want to know about seduction? Answer that. What would be your purpose of using seduction? I want to know. Because I see talk about seduction, role playing, and seduction. Whatever you want to talk about, I like. See that's what I like. What BDSM question mark? Google it. Talk about what you think men have liked the most, and what? Sex? Oh, that's an easy one, and it has nothing to do with the act. It's a control thing for most. I find. I want to know more about networking. I joined the app, but it was blank. I canceled because nothing came up. It was blank. Okay, let me clear this up. It's blank because your debit card didn't go through. So what happens is our app is a premium app, so you have to pay for it. If you ever come to when you log in and you're able to set up a profile, but the only way you can see the content is when you make sure that your credit card is connected to your Apple Store or your Google Play Store, or if you sign up on the website. So if you ever don't see any content, it's because your payment didn't go through, and our app is a premium app, and we can't, the way that it's set up, you still get to create a profile because it's thinking that while you're creating this profile, your payment is going to go through at the end of creating your profile. But when your payment don't go through, you don't get to see anything. Oh, I like that. April by candlelight. Girl, I might have to send you a t-shirt for that one. I like that. Adriana, get her name. Hold on, I can screenshot that. If I decide to use it, I'm going to have to send you a t-shirt, honey, for that one. Oh, sexual buildup throughout the day. I like that one. Please teach us how to stay feminine as a woman entrepreneur. That's the thing. You don't stay feminine when you are feminine. You're feminine in everything you do. There is no switching in or out. Okay, it cleared my bank. I will go back again. Thanks for letting me know. You're welcome. And if it cleared your bank, but it did it after the fact, just log out of the app and log back in. But normally that's what the issue is. And women, ladies, if you ever feel like, why was I deleted? Our app is not a free app. So if you're deleted, it's because either your payment expired, because we don't have grace periods. Once your payment does not go through, Google and Apple let us know, and you're deleted from the app. So you got to always make sure that's up to date, because that's normally what the issue is. Laurel said, yes, sexual buildup. Okay, so I may come back and talk about that tonight. What say you, Laurel? Phone sex, girl. You know we can talk about that, girl. I love talking about phone sex. I hope my daughter is not on here no more. Sexy text ideas. Oh, girl, you know I'm the queen. You know I'm the queen. See, I got to see, because my sleeping habits be off. I be going to bed at like 8:30 and waking up at like 1. What time tonight? I don't know. Just turn your notifications on to see if I'm live. But I could possibly come back April by candlelight. I have my candles going. I might like that. Because that's what I was taking so long with the podcast. And now I'm trying to decide, do I want to do a podcast style, or do I want to do a Dave Ramsey style where people can call in to the show and I answer questions like, well, I was thinking about April After Dark, and I could answer questions versus just having a bunch of guests on my podcast. I'm more talk radio is what I am than just sitting down and having these conversations. What y'all say? Y'all say, who's Laurel? Oh, Laurel is my a girlfriend of mine from high school. We went to high school together back in California, and we live in Georgia. So I've known her since what, 89, 90, somewhere in there, 92, somewhere in there. And we be having these conversations all the time. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I like that. Call in will be dope. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Tiffany, calling in. I like that idea. Maybe have a sprinkle guest here and there, but I like that version better. Let this be a trial run for the podcast to test it out. The call in will be dope. Yeah, let's all light our candles. Wisdom app is a platform that does that one in style conversation. Really, I'm gonna have to check that out. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. So yeah, are you on Clubhouse? No, I'm not building up nobody else's platform like that. I'm building up my own app. Is what I'm doing. We've already built up Facebook and Instagram and all these places, and I just don't want to build up via podcast, via Patreon. So I just took David Shan's podcast challenge, and so he taught me about that. Calling like, yes, that's her name, Dr. Sue. That's what I want to do. I want to do it that style, like the Dr. Sue and what's the other lady? Dr. Ruth. I want to do that. I like that part because I like interacting with my audience. I do my best when I'm live versus cameras on and we just recording. I do my best because I can feel y'all energy through whatever, the little devices carrying on. Okay, so Dr. Sue, that's what I've been trying to figure out. What was her name? And these women, they were so not the most attractive women, but they could tell you some stuff, honey, about sex and all this other stuff. Please save this live so I can catch up because we in different time zones. Okay, those of us who are already in your dating academy, we still have access to watch the videos once you close the academy. You got to go watch the video that I already did on that. I already did that for the ladies in the academy. So you got to go watch it or read what I wrote inside of our academy about that. It's because what you're paying for is access. You're not paying to own the information. So every month you pay for access to the coaching and to the group coaching with me and our girl chats and our lives and all that. You pay for access, but you're not paying for the actual content. Yeah, Dr. Sue was a trip. Everyone around me called me Dr. Ruth. If not going out, if got nothing else is when you just said you're not building up anyone else. Oh, okay. So if I got nothing else, it was when you said I'm not building up anyone else's platform. Build your own. Yes, which is why I created my own app. That's why I'm not really on Clubhouse because these people are making millions off of us being on their free platforms, and then they turn around and sell us ad space. Okay, or they'll limit what I can say or what music I can play and all. We don't do that in my app. Okay, so let me get out of here. I picked my flowers. I'll post my pictures, but I picked my flowers, and being out with nature does it for me. I need a bunch of acres of land so I can create my own botanical garden. I went to look at some land recently, and that's what I want to do. This is good. What time did I don't know. I'm not making no promises. Would you suggest therapy before and after dating your classes? I would suggest it all together. Oh, hey, Raw Vegan. Hey, Femi. They were asking about the sidereal. She's going to come down to the headquarters, and I'm going to do a live with her on this for those that are into astrology. She's dope, and she knows what she's talking about. I've never met anybody that is more accurate when it comes to looking at your chart and breaking it down to what you are and how you were wired. Like that's how I found out I was a Gemini, not a Cancer. So I'm a Gemini sun, Gemini sun, Capricorn moon, Virgo rising, my Leo's in Venus, and damn near everything else is in Pisces, which is a feminine sign. Pisces represents femininity, which is why I can speak from this because I am this. Okay? You said welcome, girl. She's a vegan chef, so all I need is a little cheesecake. That's all I'm asking. So make sure you go follow her, Raw Vegan Goddess. Yes, I got a reading for Raw Vegan Goddess a few months back. So how did it go? Was it on point? Catch Me Styling, was it on point? My birthday is June 26th. So although Western astrology, I fall under a Cancer, but I never felt like a Cancer. But when she showed me this, I'm like, this was on point. I am a Gemini all day, every day. And Geminis are the communicators of the zodiac. So all what I do, it makes sense. Pisces is considered the more feminine sign, right? It makes sense. It makes sense. So a lot of you think if you go by Western astrology, you're probably not the sign that you think you are. You say, yes, she's a real Gemini. Yes, I am. I'm just a mature one. And yes, 1 minute I can do the whole switch. Like when I say switch, it doesn't mean I'm two different people. It just means right now I don't feel like being bothered. You know, when people start talking about they two different people, no, it's not necessarily two different people. It's two different aspects of who you are. That, like for instance, most people would think, oh, she gonna be Hollywood. She like, because of what I do, being in front of the camera and all that. But you see, I'm at the farm right now. So the Hollywood glam side of me does struggle with the country girl side of me that wants to be out here picking flowers and all that. I did struggle with that until I learned that I can be both. Because I used to try to figure out why do I always just want to run to the farm or run to be in nature, and then the next thing you know, oh no, I need to do a red carpet. I need me a cute shoe. It's just how I'm wired. If that makes sense. So make sure you hit her up. Yeah, Gemini deals with duality. Yes, there's a I have that strong duality. I have very strong duality. Yes, I am from Richmond, California, darling. Yes, I'm omnivert, absolutely. And I'm an ENFJ personality type. Yeah, so get with her because she's good. I recommend her. That's how I got on the right path and start really accepting what my calling was and why teaching women femininity was so easy for me to do. It's because that's what I'm aligned with. I'm aligned with that. Yes, the reason why Gemini has the duality is because they like variety and being free. And that goes to speak to you when I said I used to have a problem with commitment because I like being free. I enjoyed the male company, but you weren't about to tie me down because I like being free. And then I had to realize, April, no one's tying you down, No one's tying you down. If you choose a man that you both have something going on in your life, so you have that freedom to do what you need to do, and then when you guys get together, y'all have a good time. And then when y'all go your separate ways, you kind of come back to kind of sit and talk about your day, but you're not I can't be up under somebody all day every day. Okay, so I had to learn what that was and why I was like that. Because I was like, April, you will never get married if you have a problem with commitment because you want to be so free. And then when I had that done, and it showed me my duality and how I am, it made it make so much sense that there's nothing wrong with me. It's just I had to choose a partner that had a life outside of me, that he had things going on. Okay, April has a Capricorn moon, though, too, so she's like traditional roles as well. Gemini with Capricorn makes for a social leader and a boss chick at that. Yeah, as far especially the traditional roles, like I'm a traditional. See, what did I tell you earlier? I said I'm a kept woman type. She just came in and told you that because of how my chart is, I'm more of a traditional woman. I like traditional roles. I like the man being the head, and I like me being the support. I don't like being in the lead. I like I can run the show now behind the scenes, but I don't. If you need me to take the lead, if something go wrong, I got you. But I don't like living in that, because when you are in a position like mine, you take on a lot anyway. So when you with your man, you don't want that. You don't want that. She says everything you think you know about your chart is off by one sign. Yes. Yep. It's not a whole lot of people that are actually the sign that they think they are. Gemini air signs are typically sexually fluid too. I guess I'm not, but I'm more free. I will say that. When I say free, I'm not talking about being fluid and being with all kind of people. I'm talking about from more of a being free to experience pleasure. I would say that, yeah. On that end, yeah. She said, Western astrology changed the chart over 2,000 years ago, and it's been off the whole time. And there are 13 signs they left out. What about Leo? My Venus is in Leo, which means this is why I'm able to talk about love the way I do, because I love big. It has to be grand. I do grand gestures and all of that stuff. So she helped me figure me out. But I don't know what's your website. Just go click on her name, raw.vegan.goddess. Click on her name and just book a session with her. Because I don't know the website. On the website. But anyway, I gotta go get me some lunch. It was good chatting with you all. I hope you got something out of this. And I will speak to you maybe tonight. So Laurel, they want us to talk about phone sex, and they want me to talk about, what was the other one? Phone sex and role playing. So I'll see. All right. Love y'all.